He said, "Oh no, we gotta." He said he was running this fast. Look at the cash, come get your man, still nigga bugging me. Just see the bag, quit. We're here. We're here.
We're playing unlicensed music on accident.
No, we can monetize now. We can monetize.
You do not understand that rule at all.
It's all right. We're gonna confuse YouTube. They don't understand their own rule.
Perfect.
Can you see me?
All right, you see everybody good?
You can't see me. I'm John Cena.
Stone Cold used to do that, by the way.
That means I could be extra flagrant.
Or no, that was The Rock, who would be like, he'd be like, "What was that?" And the person would start, he'd be like, "It doesn't matter what you think." You don't remember that?
I do.
Okay, yeah, it was lit.
I'm gonna bring that back.
Yeah, it was lit.
That sounds good.
By the way, so we're in here, Said Politic Real Spill. We're live during Hurricane Ian. Y'all know where we're located. So in Florida, baby, this is what we do.
If you don't, then you don't get to know. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, either way, y'all know we're in Florida. We're experiencing.
If you watched the last episode, we kind of.
What's that?
No, don't tell them about that episode. We dropped way too much personal information.
Okay, we've triangulated so much information throughout these podcasts, not just the last one, and many will come.
Give out direct addresses on accident.
Tell people where you went to high school. I mean, Deuce really started that wave on this podcast. I was trying to keep it.
Let them know, man.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it, somewhat.
I went to 13.
Hey, you get us to 1,000 subscribers, I can start telling my stories from high school.
There you go. Yeah, with the least privacy I have, the better I feel about that. But either way, thank you for joining us during Hurricane Ian. I hope all y'all are safe. We're safe for the time being, and here vibing, doing a little podcast, documenting the days or the day before. But I mean, we're already in the middle of it. And everybody we got here, we have Smooth Recoil, by the way, off camera.
So
throw up a peace sign with your right hand because they can kind of see you. Okay.
Smooth, the shooter in here.
You pulled the DAP move.
No
Send me a picture with three fingers. And then we got Bill's in the building. He's back. He's doing his thing with the glass and the torches. We got Deuce Andretti as always.
You know what I'm doing wrong? The squeeze.
Oh yeah, sure. Reality.
Glass and torches, buddy.
With the glass and rocks. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm doing that.
You know that crystal stuff.
Okay. We got Deuce
Allegedly.
Andretti.
Hey, just so you guys know, this is a documentary. So if any one of us,
and these are
can't be here the next time, it was fun. It was great.
This might have been the last time we were able to make this all happen, where we were all able to be in the same building together. Because maybe some of us move away.
Supposedly I'm in a
not because we had to.
I'm just gonna say I'm in a flood zone.
Okay. Just want to say that so my insurance knows I have to pay.
And I put on my shutters are on. So give me my fucking money.
My shutters are also on. To be clear, this is a document. Is anybody here a notary? Dav, we got Dav in the building. Thank you for stopping back by. Thank you for coming back through during these dire times out here getting people right in the world. So thank you for finding some time to slide.
We're gonna get super high today, guys.
Well, some of us.
Some of us are gonna smoke medical cannabis.
Yes, because we are medical patients.
Sober Sallies.
Because we are medical patients. Yeah, let's check all the boxes.
Let's clarify all of that, please.
Yeah, you see we're vibing. And then also we got the Vulgar Assassin in here, man. Throw him up.
The second shooter, the mini shooter.
Yeah, he's here. Oh, the mini shooter, the pea shooter.
I didn't say all that, but we can go with that.
Hey, but no, definitely check Vulgar and check also Smooth out on YouTube if you want to see any Call of Duty. They're heavy on there. Definitely Smooth is super, super, super heavy. You can get content from him on the regular. So check him out if you like that. If you like that content, you want to shout out anything real quick? Just say subscribe. But yeah, subscribing. We're out here doing big things during the hurricane. How are y'all doing, by the way? How was prepping? How was prepping?
My hands are cut up. My back hurts.
He had a long day, man. He was putting in work today, man.
All day?
I respect it.
All day.
Yeah. We're all
three different houses.
And also, I mean, we don't want to get into that.
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
You don't want to do what?
No, we don't want to get back into that triangulation situation, but some of those houses may have been more than one story.
Oh yeah. Listen, the amount of houses I didn't see in my neighborhood up with shutters.
There's an entire community with them.
Listen, I better put my shutters down with fucking dents in them. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my shutters damaged. The amount of effort that goes into putting them bitches up.
Hey, low-key,
fuck that.
I was thinking that same shit driving around my neighborhood. I'm seeing everybody put their shit. I ain't got nothing, but I got a few things or whatever. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm hoping to myself, I'm like, oh, shit don't happen. But I'm like, damn, everybody did all this work.
Did you put yours up?
I ain't had none.
Oh, you didn't have anything to put up.
Well,
Wow.
It's like half
I guess that's the untold story there. Poor people that don't have any shutters to put up.
fucking shutters, man.
we just didn't feel like I didn't feel like driving.
like Charlie ain't come through this bitch.
Section. That's why they got a New York section. That's right there.
For people with no shutters. I will say I was blessed to have Smooth Recoil be here, and he actually ended up helping me out. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, first of all, we're in Bradenton.
Oh yeah, man. We was here. We was putting them up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, we had Smooth, and really wasn't too big of a thing to knock out the. Oh yeah, nice, got you. Yeah, it wasn't too big of a thing to get ours put up, and then other than that, we had the supplies already. Thankfully, we had a well-stocked house, so we were pretty much already prepared for not the worst case scenario. Obviously, because you can't prepare for that.
I had to call a friend, man. I'm gonna shout out him real quick. Shout out
Please.
to Q, man. Q was solid today, man. And we also blessed an older woman, that was stuck in need.
Did her house?
Yeah, did her house, man.
Oh yeah. They gave it
Off
up.
the
How much
muscle.
did it cost her?
Off the muscle.
Well, we got
A few
number.
inches,
We
a
got
few
number,
inches.
So
Off the muscle.
You'll come back to collect that later.
No, they ran it.
No.
Well, do you want them off?
They ran it.
We're not collecting
Do
anything.
you want them off or live in darkness? You choose.
We're not collecting anything, but if she wants to, throw a dog a bone, please do.
Oh, you threw her the bone.
No, man, it's like she was in deep in need. There was like
You want to throw a dog a bone?
it was like a woman. It was like an older, elderly woman with her mother.
Nice.
With her older,
Okay.
Yeah, double.
yeah. So it was like we were just trying to be good people. We need more good people in the world.
That we do.
Hey, but they are out there.
Yeah, we weren't the only people helping her. There was another, group helping her. But yeah, no, they didn't want to do. They weren't doing the top. Well,
You missed out, bro.
they did the easy part. They did the bottom.
Yeah,
part.
they said, well, so we sent our other crew away, so we're still here to finish up.
No, it's kind of funny though. They were doing the bottom part, and then we were still working on the front of the front on the top floor, and then there's still the back to do. And the son asked, he's like, "Hey, do you want me to go get the ladder so we could just start on the back so they don't have to do both?" And the dad's kind of just looking like,
Fuck no.
He's like, "Fuck no, I don't want to." But he's like, "Yeah, why?" I'm like,
Oh, I hate to be a good
Yeah, we
person.
forgot the ladder, right?
well, because I was topping it up with
As he's standing on
Oh,
it.
he was so pissed at his
he
son.
was
He's like,
hot.
"Shut the fuck up, the ladder."
Well, because like the dad was like, "I'm not getting back up on that bitch." You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, no, they were in need.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were there for their need.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was pulling a bitch move. Straight up, dude.
Because
He literally smacked the shit out of his kid as soon as they walked inside.
I'm telling you.
Yo, dude, I had a kid just like it, dude. You try to get him in at a fucking amusement park. You try to play it off like he's under 12. That motherfucker's like, I'm 16. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're 4'2", motherfucker. You can make it.
Try to get
You
him in.
can ride this ride.
Trying to get him in.
I can't understand. You need to say, and I'm your dad.
Jason's pointing at himself like we don't know it's him.
Yeah, the mini assassin.
Yeah,
there, for real.
there's not too many mini assassins out there.
Yeah, we made a whole point to call him the pea shooter at the beginning of the show. Matter of fact, he left literally.
We got him. Yeah.
So the damn.
Welcome to our live, guys. Welcome
Yeah.
to this blessed episode of fuckery and
I
fun.
had something that y'all made me think of. Now I don't want to let that slip my
So I
mind.
guess we made you forget it. Which one?
I don't remember who. It was just such a good.
Fuck.
There's so much good conversation going that you know what I mean. I just slipped my
How
mind.
do
But
we
either
want to
way,
start the fuckery off today? Who do we want to bash?
Did
on
we
first?
introduce everybody?
We did.
we did. Yeah, we went through everybody.
You had some glass and a torch bowl.
All right, we're dropping that definition as a,
Glass. We do not smoke the rocks.
Glass pipe.
We don't. Smoke,
that shit is plastic.
we don't smoke anything clear out of glass.
One thing I did want to. I thought you'd probably have an interesting perspective on this. Could you pull up, Dav? Could you pull up something? Jeffrey Dahmer victim speaks out about the Netflix show.
Bro, she got
I thought
all
this was
the
interesting.
emotions back.
Huh?
The one that she said she like
They're
watched
men.
it and got all the emotions.
Oh yeah, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" She said it was hard to believe the woman on screen wasn't her.
Yeah.
Oh, the black lady.
Yeah.
What was that?
The actor Casey's the one that played.
Hey, you
her.
know what?
They
Fuck.
said she was the star of the show, not Evan Peters.
Evan Peters was Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Yeah.
No, listen, brother.
No, dude, he's going for like totally the trifecta. Like Ryan Murphy's going to make sure he plays every serial killer out there, dude. It's crazy. He's lining them up.
This guy.
He's playing some of the worst people in the world.
Why did Dahmer drill holes in people's heads?
Yeah, he played that role so great, though.
Bro,
To deaden the nerves.
He was almost too good.
He's been awesome in all the American movies.
Bro, he made sandwiches for his
One of my
neighbors.
favorite, but I just felt like he.
Before we leave that,
He went too far,
I do want to draw attention. Hey,
Too black.
Deuce, real quick.
Like Tropic Thunder.
Deuce, look at this. Right here, one of the first most asked questions from people about Jeffrey Dahmer. Why did Dahmer drill holes in people's heads? This is the explanation he gives. Dahmer drilled holes in their heads to deaden a portion of their brains and poured, what's that say? Fluids in their skulls, said Dr. Frederick Fosdale, hired by prosecutor.
Our screen that he's reading from is hard.
Yeah, he was
and there's
pouring
a blank.
acid
You
in
can
his
actually read.
brains and stuff like that. Also, it was to make sure the numbness so they didn't scream, yell. You got to remember some of this shit he did right there.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Was there no numbing while he was drilling? Like, what were they feeling then?
He didn't give a fuck.
They had beers, man.
They had a few beers.
Yeah,
Nice.
they did some pills. He used to crush up, I think, Adderall or something. I don't know.
They
what it was.
said what it was.
Let me just tell you.
So I don't know, but
I'm about to say,
he
yeah,
definitely did
Adderall is gonna make you feel it.
That's hilarious.
Well,
They said,
he was in the military.
Miller
and the
Lite.
military showed him what pills to use.
They used Miller Lite as the.
Jeffrey Dahmer was in the military. And they let this man out.
Did you watch the? Have you seen the show yet?
Yeah, discharged him.
Have you seen the show yet? Yeah.
No, I want to.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
And they discharged him.
Okay. How'd you like it?
Well, my attention
was pretty
span for
decent.
shows.
It was decent.
It was all right. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't feel bad. Mr. Beast has never watched a TV show or movie. I feel like it's a waste of time.
Oh, come on, stop it.
Fuck him.
This man said he never watched a TV show in his life.
Half of his
No.
skits come off
He'd
TV
rather.
shows.
Dude, he's only fucking 24. So 10 years ago, YouTube is already out. So I mean, I could feel him if all he's been watching is YouTube. My past
That's a
fucking
very shitty life.
is it? I mean,
Only YouTube?
you get to choose your content. I mean,
That'd be
what?
fucking miserable.
Well, look where he's at though. It kind of like. I don't know.
Well, I mean-
No House of Dragons, no Game of Thrones.
Mom and dad put him on permanent.
He said he watched Squid Games and shit, and then
you saying
obviously it was like, yo, let's remake it.
I said, his mom and dad put him on permanent parental lock or what?
I don't know. We're talking about the biggest YouTuber who's a billionaire. So
I understand all that. So you're telling me the biggest billionaire YouTuber in the world says he's never watched a TV show?
I found it hard to believe. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Oh, bullshit. I call bullshit in a hard way. Hey, I've seen some of his stuff. No, I've seen some of his
I've
stuff.
never
The
seen any
guy's
of his
actually a
stuff.
pretty awesome dude. However, no, that's bullshit. I don't want to hear you ain't ever. That's like every guy talking, I ain't ever jacked off. Bullshit. You grabbed your cock and made
I've
a cock.
never
Stop
jerked
it.
off.
Exactly.
No, I'll be
either.
honest with you.
Hey, we're down the first liar in the room.
No, I
Biggest
swear to
liar
God,
right
I
there.
swear to God. Like honestly, most like the famous TikTokers and shit like that and YouTubers, I haven't seen their shit, and it's just because
Definitely not TikTokers, but
because it's like the shit they do. I don't watch it like that.
Well, it doesn't appeal to you, but there's a huge demographic of people.
I don't think I get the algorithm.
I mean, if you're going to turn on and watch a game, there's only one person you're going to watch. It's Smooth Recoil. I get that. I feel you, brother. Thank you, son.
I mean, I can.
That's
go
how
through
you
my
get to
shit.
800 subs.
It's a lot of podcasts.
If you're going to watch a podcast, it's Sitting Politic Podcast.
Exactly.
subscribe
The fuck are we talking?
Subscribe to all of it, baby.
Fucking
if you know
Mr.
what's
Beast.
good for you.
I'm the fucking beast.
So,
you know what's crazy?
Like, what's a goon to a goblin?
can we see what the victim said about the Netflix documentary, or not documentary? It's a show.
Might as well be a doc. They could have cut that shit down in one.
I think it's a biopic, but it's
a whole
they,
show.
they stretched it out in episodes though.
It actually is
How did-
mostly about his arrest.
well. And before we even get into this, 'cause
Yeah, it
we
doesn't
don't
really
even
go
need
into
to
the
know
statistic
exactly.
shit.
We don't even really need to know exactly what she said, which we'll see that here in a second. But how do you guys feel about things like this getting covered? Which there's historical significance there, but it bringing up past trauma for people that were actually impacted by it, even people that were victims or people's families. When you're retelling a story of their loved one being taken, is the juice worth the squeeze? And Smooth, let me know if you want to hop on here. I'd be happy to give you this mic.
I mean, if CNN
That's a
can do
damn
it,
good point, man. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
squeeze
The
it.
problem is some
Wait,
of this
where
shit,
did you
man,
hear
is
that?
it's important. It's important history to
I
make
know
sure
too.
we don't walk down that path again. To make sure when a woman notices that she smells death in a fucking apartment house, somebody listens to her. Try that one on.
How
for
does she
fucking
know
time.
what death smells like?
I can tell you what death smells like.
He literally called it. I'm not. So this is relevant. We walked out here to start setting stuff up, and Smooth just said, "It smells like death out here." I said, "I can't smell anything." He said, "I smell death."
Oh, nice. Well,
Okay, he
who's
just
dying?
He ran
ducked
from it.
out. He ducked out. We didn't find bodies or nothing. By the way, it was just frogs, but there were some dead frogs out here.
He knew something nobody else knew.
No. I didn't know something. They were just frogs. They were just frogs. There was nothing in the walls.
Yeah, but he literally came out here and he's like,
"Oh, those frogs died."
No, I can tell you. Here's a good story, dude. I can tell you, we got called out for a smell in an air conditioning company we used to own, and I literally ended up on a ladder going through the house and pinpointed within inches of my nephew and walked him through the attic from downstairs in this woman's house through the drywall and pinpointed right where that dead rat was.
I remember that story. Yep.
Right
This man has a nose for death.
Yes, I can smell death a mile away. You know why? Because I've smelled death before many times.
Legally.
It's a nose you don't forget.
Legally.
Shout out to YouTube for that community guideline.
What's a bounty hunter?
And I don't mean the dog.
But yeah, so how do you guys feel about that though? The impact that, because we could tell these same stories and it just be fictionalized. If you want to tell a,
I was like, I think it's weird that we can
Can we just get
Smooth
off
ass
the
if we
weird
did already,
dancing and like flailing and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the guy was like doing the weird dance and like he was just like
so it's
touching on himself.
And you're important. So is that important?
Wasn't necessary to the.
Wasn't necessary.
Like we.
I understand you could say where they could leave that out. That was a little twisted and sick, but that leads to what
multiple times.
That leads to the sick and twistedness that he was.
You have to
that
see
was
that.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
But
tell the story or don't. Tell it in its true form or don't.
God damn, do we have to watch him dancing for 15 minutes in an episode?
You need to know how sick he was.
Exactly.
I understand that, but if you look at Ted Bundy,
3 minutes.
Okay, but look at Ted Bundy.
Now you understand though. It's freaking
Ted
me out.
Bundy, what they did was they went out and got Zac Efron to play Ted Bundy. Why?
That was dumb.
Because Ted Bundy was said to be for the times a very sexy,
Handsome.
attractive, handsome man.
Yes.
That was what it was. Back
Won't
then.
say sexy. I will.
You know what I'm saying? So they played that part. They played up the fact that he was a very good-looking man because, in all reality, to women of that age and time, he was a good-looking man.
I know what.
The problem with Jeffrey Dahmer is he wasn't looking good for the men. So that argument.
Not true. The men did like him.
No, I'm saying he was in the men though. He was
He was in the men. He was in preferably black men.
Yeah, I did realize that after the fact. But in the show, they didn't make it seem like it was just black. Like it's
no, it wasn't just black men. He liked men of. They say he liked men of color, which because there was also Asian men and stuff that he had killed, light skinned men. If you remember in the bar that he was in,
they described this as liking them.
It was actually, as you've seen, it was in pretty much a black bar.
Well, he was basically preying on what he felt he could get away with.
To a point, you could say that. But in another point, you could say like some people with their chicken. He liked dark meat.
I wish that wasn't the only part I got on the mic. You know what I mean? That was my only problem.
Yeah,
with
the
that
dark meat.
The dark meat part was the only part we got on the mic. Wow.
You're right. I heard him, but
yeah, only thing that came through he had a bigger point with that, guys.
Not the dark meat.
But yeah,
talking about chicken.
Well, it is interesting. It is interesting though when you're talking about like Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy in this case, where you're then casting somebody that's like the perception of Zac Efron is that he's like a heartthrob kind of actor type deal. Yeah, that's what he would be considered for sure. He's like Brad Pitt, like good looking actor. He gets typically typecasted in those type of roles. So when you put him in this role, there is kind of like a question as far as like you're kind of romanticizing it, don't you think? Because even if he was good looking for the time, he's not like Zac Efron. You could have put John Krasinski in there and it would have been fine.
It's popular with a certain demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
hey, do y'all think you could play a serial killer?
I could melt into any role.
Don't call me Denzel for nothing, Mike.
Yeah, well, okay.
Define serial killer.
Okay.
Define serial killer.
Oh,
Is there a purpose behind this,
Okay, we're
or
going
are
to
we
depth.
just out killing people?
This is acting.
So you could only portray some serial killers, you're saying?
What is it?
They do different stuff. But let's
You
be
say
honest.
you would have to be doing that.
Bro, some serial killers, for example, like kill people randomly. Some like
It's acting.
fuck dead bodies. Could you play both those roles? It's kind of different.
Okay, so which one do you think you could play? Like,
we killed him for the greater good.
This is where I was getting
a
at.
serial
Low key,
killer, or are we now just a vigilante?
low key. Hey, listen, low key. I was
think this is the
asking,
back end
And the
It's kinda
fact,
like-
see
and
where
the
your
fact
mind
that I'm not
was.
Bruce Wayne and a billionaire, I got to kill people. I can't just hook them up and take them and let the cops get them because I don't have that shit in
This
hand.
this the Batman.
I wanted to
You would
see.
like to be a vigilante. I see.
wanted to
Well,
see
Batman
what
was
type
killing
of
people at first, though.
Oh, that was the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight killed.
Yeah. Oh, The Dark Knight was.
Batman Batman did not.
Cracking necks,
So
shooting.
he's not-
He was actually shooting people with
Dark
machine
Knight
guns.
ain't Batman?
Ben Affleck.
The Dark Knight ain't Batman?
It's different versions of the character.
Different version. It's a different version of the same character.
Yeah.
Nice. They just stopped making that comic book.
Look at the movies. It's good.
Well, hold up. So real quick, Bills, what were you saying? Because you were getting. To
Oh
the
no,
point.
I was just asking to see which ones, like what type of serial killers you're gonna say you were.
Oh, none.
Dark Knight versus the Batman.
I'm zero serial killers. If that was a trick question, you tried to FBI me and like, oh, which one would you play? Gotcha.
Like
Yeah,
more or less
you
like
just admitted.
well, like yeah, what type you were gonna be type shit. Like
I feel like honestly,
yeah, I could be a serial killer. I would do it this way. I'd be like, oh fuck.
well, no, I thought you were talking about acting. Were you talking about?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Well, no, but I thought you were talking about acting in the film. I didn't say you're like, oh, if you were a serial
Which
killer,
one?
really, how would
So
you?
like,
do it?
Okay,
so,
so, like-
are you like a Red
I
Room
feel like
type
for-
serial killer?
I feel like if
I
I'm getting paid, I could be anything.
I'd be like
Are you like a
smooth
Zodiac
serial
killer?
Like I'd be like a
Type
smooth
of
serial killer. You know what I
I'm
mean?
saying? Like, which kind of serial killer? Are you a Jack the Ripper kind of serial killer?
I wouldn't be
I
like
could do that. I could do all that.
You could do
That's what I'm saying. Acting. We're talking about like acting in a film. It's my job.
Serial killer, 3 or more people.
yeah. Well, and you just have a list of like killing.
No. But being a serial killer, isn't it just defined as the amount of the kills that you've done? So therefore, in all reality, you could
This
look
is
at
fucking
several
insane.
martyrs of the world and say they were serial killers.
Fuck, like Hitler.
Of course. Mass killers.
Did any of those people make
There's
a movie?
other words for them.
Did any of those people get a
dude.
movie made?
Yeah,
Did any of-
you would.
Different. They're not serial. Yeah, they get movies
Okay,
made.
well,
They
then-
make movies about like world
Attila-
leaders
Attila
that
the
have been responsible for genocide, for sure.
Attila the Hun.
Well, no, you're getting into military.
I think it's-
now you're getting into war. War is different than just being a serial killer.
Oh, that's what you just said.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Hillary Clinton.
No, but seriously, if you look at some things, take a man that kills someone because they've hurt his family.
Rory
Okay, well, if he
Kenton.
goes and kills more than 3 people
Liam Neeson.
involved
I know,
in
but-
that,
There you go.
he is now a serial killer.
I'm about to be like
Correct?
Myron.
Or
I'm
is
about to
he
be like
just a
Myron.
vigilante who
The
avenged his
exception doesn't
family?
make the rules.
All right, so
what's
let me
the
ask you
serial
this.
killer?
Born Supremacy.
Yeah.
Born. Jason Bourne. Is he a serial killer or is
Hold
he?
up. In the situation you're talking about, there's such thing as spree killers. That might be what that is. If
So
you do it
Jason-
within a certain period of time, it's not serial killer. It's
Damn,
spree.
you know what? That does make sense. That does make sense because a sniper could have like fucking 70 bodies. Is
No,
he
no,
a
no.
serial
Here's my
killer?
thing. Fuck that.
He was already separating that.
No,
he said
we're in the
he's-
time of war. That is different.
Oh, you're okay. That's what
I
you
don't know
mean.
if it is, but yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay. That's
well,
what
you could look at that way.
I
Sure, you
understand
could
now.
definitely look at that way.
But
Well, here's my thing. So
I
what
honestly,
about-
I thought that's what
so
you were
say you were Jason Bourne,
describing.
for instance. Are you a serial killer?
No, because
he's killing everybody that took over his body. Or
So your
alive.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, you're serving a purpose here.
Hold on. Well, hold
Well,
on.
no,
I'm not
you're-
talking.
you're
I'm
serving
talking
a
about
purpose.
him after the fact, not when he was doing the dirty work. When he was going
When he
back,
was doing the cleanup.
when he was doing the cleanup.
The man was protecting his life.
I
A
don't
man has a right to. A man has a
He
right to
doubled
defend
back.
himself.
He spun the block.
Yeah, he doubled back.
Who did he kill? Who did he kill other than the people that were coming after him to kill him?
He literally went up the whole chain of command.
They were coming to kill him. Come kill me. See what I do. See what I do. Come
Only
at
because
Smooth.
he came back on the radar.
Became
All right, well,
a.
could you be a sick fucking psychopathic?
Oh, he
fucking
would've
serial
stayed-
killer?
No, they were killing him to try to tie up loose ends. He's right.
They were looking for him. Exactly.
They
He
were
could have
looking
stayed
for him.
hidden.
Juice is like they wanted to just talk. They wanted to just talk.
That's it. It's a
Yeah,
little
we always
conversation.
we always just want to talk. Come on, let's go. Come in here. We just
All
want
right.
to
So
talk.
Jason Bourne.
Classic FBI
We
tactic.
just want to talk.
Jason Bourne. Bad example. Okay.
I just want to talk. I just want to run.
Yeah. No, so you're trying to think of a good guy that was person we perceive as a good guy, but he's actually
Yeah,
like
you're just a
has
psychopath.
oh, there's definitely some
Venom?
like Dirty Harry type stuff.
Dirty Harry for sure. Renegade cop. That's Dirty Harry.
What about
What about Death Wish? Charles Bronson. They came in, they raped and killed his wife and daughter. He turned around and went on a spree and fucked up an
So
entire
you're saying-
an entire gang.
So John Wick is not a serial killer.
He is for sure. Well, see, that's the thing. Under definition, of course he is.
Not if they kill your
But
dog.
are we against him? Because again, a
I
man
love
that is
John Wick.
defending his own life.
They killed his dog.
And his dog.
This is America, sir. He has that right.
I'll be honest with you. He could have
He has
probably.
that right.
He could have probably not been defending his own
And
life.
how aggressive were they in coming after him? And
John Wick.
They RPG'd his fucking house, son. They
killed his
RPG'd
dog.
his beautiful fucking home that sit on the lakeside of the ocean. Are you serious? How hard did they come after him? The entire Cosa Nostra came after the man.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean? How hard did they come
I don't
after
know
him?
if that's a
They
type.
sent
That
55
would be.
fucking people to kill this man.
That would be the
He
comparing.
killed a man with a fucking pencil.
Rocket propelled grenade. That's
What
what, RPG stands for. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What
I
if
know
they-
that and I like that now.
What if they?
Very important. A lot
have
of
to
people
think-
don't know
if
that.
I've ever heard
Especially
that.
Call of Duty fuckwads. They don't know what they're
The
shooting.
way that they came after John
Hey.
Wick would be like every major crime
I'm just
organization
playing a
in
game.
the world coming after
Goddamn.
one person.
Hold on, what was that?
The way that they portrayed the movie of John Wick would be like every big crime organization in the world coming after one person.
Exactly.
No, they had
That's
the part
exactly
where
what they
he
did.
chops off.
No,
his
that's
finger and
exactly
stuff.
what they did. He took out the Russian mob, or at least the biggest part of it. He literally went to Russia.
And these
He
movies
took
are
out the
so
head of the
cap.
Russian mob.
These movies are so cap.
Came back, and then the Italians were like, "Yo, check this out. That's not good. You can't do that, John. You can't do that." You know, so yeah, everybody's going at him. So yeah, no. The only people that you
Why
don't
did he cut
really
his
see
finger
for
off?
sure, however, you do see people who might betray them is truly like Yakuza.
Hold up. So why he cut his finger off?
Yeah, you gotta run that back real quick.
Yeah. So
I don't think I've seen this one.
He had to do that as like a.
Well, hold up. Let Dav bring us there, man. Come on.
Yeah. So there's a scene where he goes and he
That
talks
shit
to
sounds like it hurt.
one of the. His
Shit, he gets help.
You can tell by who? Hey, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
Here.
he chopped his finger off
So why do you have to do it?
to get help.
They didn't chop John.
He cut his own finger off.
To prove it? To prove like it's real?
Guys. Are you guys sure you're not talking about when the high table came to everybody that helped John Wick and cut fingers, cut hands? They cut Lawrence Fishburne all up. That's why Lawrence Fishburne's like,
Yeah, no, the Arab guy does it.
Yeah, let's definitely watch
you
this.
guys are all
It's-
on your
it's
fucking
required.
board. Get in right Hold on, okay, go ahead. I don't think that's nobody cuts John Wick's finger off, guys.
Why did Google ask it? I'm just reading.
No, I'm just saying what it is I'm pretty sure that what we're looking for is when, like I said, they come around and the high tables literally
This
coming
shit
for
right here.
people.
This shit.
I don't know. Let's see. I didn't think anybody cut his finger off.
Yeah. Okay, Smooth. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
I don't know. I've never seen this movie. I'm not.
No, I
gonna
mean either. Me either.
What?
I swear to God.
How could you've never seen the John Wick movie?
I didn't see the first one,
Pop, you
and
might
I'm
be
not
seeing
gonna
him
watch.
cut his finger off. Hold on.
I didn't. You know what I mean? I didn't watch any other ones.
I don't know.
Are you willing to bet your finger
This
top
is Parabellum.
whether or not?
I got the ceremony.
2019. What was I doing? Probably in depression. Wasn't watching shit.
Yeah, because you weren't watching this. That's why you're depressed.
If you were watching this, you'd be like, man,
I'd
fuck
have
the
been fine.
world.
I probably would have been fucking out there killing my. Never mind.
Okay.
My
There you
emotions.
go. I love that.
Killing that target.
We're getting better. We're live,
Killing that
baby.
target at the range.
We need to go to the ring. We've been saying that. Play ourselves.
Cap. Hey, there's a spot in Venice, right off 41 by that racetrack, that allow you to rent a machine gun. Swear to God,
No way.
$75 an hour,
Not bad.
or maybe it was a
I feel
clip or something. It's
Oh,
like 75
sometimes
bucks.
it's a clip.
It's $75 for a quick second of squeeze. You know what I'm saying?
So they're saying to make sure that you're real and really about this, we need you to cut your finger off. This reminds me of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now. Oh, he just went for it.
He cut his finger
What
off.
else, what else are you supposed to do?
But you are right. Nobody cut his finger off. He cut his own finger off.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God, he gives him his finger, dude, with the ring on it.
No.
With the big ring.
I'd pass out literally. He grabs it with his hand. He just cut his finger off.
That's a pretty useless finger
The
when you
fact that
think
he
about
put
it.
it the long way off is crazy. Instead of pulling it off the other way. You know what I'm saying? You know,
What?
like
That's crazy. Are you serious?
put it the
He cut
long
his
way.
finger
Yeah,
off,
after he
dude.
cut his finger off.
Yeah,
it's
his
crazy.
brain's not even working correctly right now.
well, no shit. He cut his finger off. That was just. I'd have just got up and shot all the motherfuckers in the face.
Well, I mean, there's like 3 of them.
But I guess this is supposed to be like the high, like the. They, got,
Cauterizing
my
it for him.
God, this movie.
They're cauterizing it for him, taking care of that.
they took care of
And he
him.
said, I'm going to keep that ring, though.
I think he kills them too.
He could have just took the ring off and gave it to him.
I wish you good luck on your path. The year will help you prepare for your departure, Mr. Wick.
I'm about to go watch this shit.
This shit's crazy. This is.
Should we just watch it right now?
So basically, he got
bullshit.
exiled.
He's like, I call CGI.
Slide a hand.
He got exiled.
That ain't even John Wick's blood. Test it.
He got exiled, and then basically he had to go and sacrifice his finger to get back in the game.
Oh, shout out to Dap and them dropping an episode 2 hours ago. Definitely got to check that before I lose power.
Who?
Okay, so he
Dap.
gave his hand
Dad's
up,
Against Predators.
his finger up, Now he goes on like 10 minutes on into the movie, and he's back kicking everybody's ass, flipping guns, swirling, dropping magazines and everything else back in weapons.
Well,
You got
No
warning?
kind of
this one.
retraining.
Not this one. This one is a little bit different.
No,
You got
I know.
warning?
I've seen all the shows, but he still does do some ass kicking.
On
He ain't gonna
what?
go back and handle that gun 10 minutes later when he just lost a finger.
Yeah, like his balance.
Yeah, his balance gonna be off.
Yeah, I agree.
And let's not forget the drummer from Def Leppard with one arm.
Well, yeah, it's like
Exactly.
it's
You
like
gotta
having
teach
a,
yourself that shit.
it's like cutting your pinky toe off. Like
Exactly.
you gotta
balance. Oh, the pinky toe.
The
Shot
fucking
her
Britney
pinky
stand in
toe
the
off.
comment hating.
Shout out Harlem Nights, baby.
Yep, you gotta be able to balance.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, what would you do? Like, if you needed to prove your loyalty, cutting a piece of your body off, what would be the? I mean, whatever. Let me say, put yourself in John Wick shoes.
Fuck.
The sacred dread.
A dread.
The sacred dread.
I'm cutting my hair. Yeah, yo, facts. You can have this.
That's all you can get now.
I don't know. I honestly saw that. I feel like
Grab
a
it.
toe. Honestly, I'd take a toe.
Yeah, I mean, toe before finger.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah, okay.
For sure. I could actually run on like a nubbed foot more than I could like a fucking.
Does that have anything to do with like cosmetically, like you being able to hide the toe?
Okay, that too. Yeah, that'd work.
Yeah.
I'd take the fucking knife, cut his off, and tell him he owed it to me.
All right, you're just.
Look up how long till you bleed out when you cut your finger. You cut your finger. How long did it take you to bleed out?
Whatever.
Yeah, how long? I thought
Sure.
you knew that.
By the way, what about those? What about those victims of Jeffrey Dahmer? We want to talk about them.
Oh man,
I think he ate a little more than just the fingers.
Oh yeah,
he ate everything.
Yeah. There was hearts in his freezer. Human hearts in his freezer, 2 of them.
Which honestly,
Because he didn't get to them yet.
some people believe that's the way to respect the kill. Honestly,
What? Do you want to eat the heart?
Yeah, but you're
not to waste anything.
Wow,
there is both parts, and then
Yeah,
some
yeah.
hunters believe that
Bro.
you eat the heart of your kill, all that you drink.
Dude,
the
Red
blood of
Dawn?
your kill. Red Dawn, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Hey, you see.
I'm not doing that.
You see that mystical shit? He got in trouble for fucking that rape shit, but like the victim.
I just read one of those comments that was going crazy.
Only thing I saw was when I said "fuck you." Oh, okay.
I said, do you love Jesus?
Whoa. Okay. Lose a finger equal bleed to death. All right. So let's see here.
I've tried cutting off my finger. No, I'm playing.
I don't know if this is a reputable.
Yeah, this is
Live journal. I mean, hey, I trust him.
live journal,
Yeah.
fucking whatever their name is.
I mean, yeah, I imagine it would take a while, but in the whole 9 yards or whatever, there's a dude that dies. He gets shot in the foot, and it's like they make a funny thing about it, like who dies by getting shot in the foot. They're so funny.
Damn.
Yeah,
Dog.
dog.
Dude, I was listening
Let's
to
talk
this
about
song.
this. How do y'all feel about Brett Favre, man?
What about him?
Welfare scam.
Broke the law. You going to jail, Brett? See you later. Nobody gives a fuck.
I don't know. They're not investigating it.
No,
So what?
Brett Favre. There was some like welfare scam to build a stadium
Oh yeah. He's
Mississippi,
supposed
I
to
think it
like
was.
go to do conferences and shit or something.
They say he's really looking at serious jail time. Like they're really supposedly going to go to jail. Favre.
He's supposed to, but here's the thing. So I guess there's like it's like a well-known thing around among the elites, you know, in those rooms,
$1 million in
to where
federal
like
money here.
they know the way to be able to get the funding and the loan the way that he did it, and it's like a common practice that people do
Why
all
don't-
the time.
and let us. So, Dav, you want to read some of this article real quick?
Yeah, so if you heard about the scandal, it's likely because of the involvement of former Green Bay Packer Brett Favre, specifically the $1 million in federal welfare money he received for talks he apparently did not give, and the $5 million he was involved in directing toward construction of a volleyball stadium at a college his daughter attended. So I remember they were kind of like reviewing facts of the case.
Yeah.
They have written evidence of him doing it. Like they have like emails of him trying to contact them, asking them for money, which was he couldn't do at the time. So I don't. No, it is serious.
He wrote his own statement.
It is serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Do you have anything to say?
White collar crime. We won't hear no more about it.
Oh yeah, he won't do. That's the thing. It's white collar, so it's like you don't really. It's his first offense. Slap on the wrist.
Like how they have.
He's got plenty of money.
That's what I don't understand. Like you made $180 million in NFL contract money alone. It's like, why can't you why couldn't you pay to build your daughter's volleyball stadium by yourself? Like you don't have $5 million.
Shit, a free meal? Fuck, I might take it.
No, he got 5 free.
Even better.
Years and years ago, and they said literally,
He was supposed
God,
to
it had to be
talk.
like 10, 15 years ago. I read a report where they said if you took all the money in the United States and you just evenly divided it right down the middle, within 5 years, the rich would be rich and the poor would be poor.
Yeah, because nobody knows how to save their money or use it or
Because
spend it or.
The rich are rich for a reason. That's why he's not taking his money. He wants to come for you, and the fact that you love Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers, yo dumb ass going to write a check for him.
Don't disrespect the Packers. Don't make me grab a mic.
Hey, just know that shit. That
Hey,
game
don't make
was,
me grab a mic, bro. Don't make me grab a mic.
that shit was scripted. That game was
Listen,
scripted.
Dad. Listen. Brett Favre is a scumbag.
Yeah.
Vicodin addicted hack at the end of his
Oh my
career.
God.
Vicodins.
Oh, it was off a Vicodin playing for the Vikings? That's crazy.
That's a bar.
It's facts though. He did not need it. Well, no shit.
Pop for Vikings like I'm Brett Favre.
I don't understand how y'all signed off on a $5 million volleyball stadium when you don't even have clean water in some of your counties.
Not wrong.
Like people are bathing in dirt.
Hey, I forgot there was a hurricane coming
Hey, man, just for a second.
for a second.
That's what we're trying to do. Let's forget about that for just a second.
If you're watching and you're just in the moment with me.
Yeah, y'all gonna be like, damn, man, they're vibing through the fucking storm. We are, baby. That's what we're doing.
Do you remember those guys?
That last episode.
Yeah, it was sick. They really rode out hard. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's crazy. Okay, just make sure you're still up and stuff. Perfect. What else did Brett Favre? Brett Favre had a crazy didn't he send a dick pic at the end of his career?
He had some shit with. He got Aaron Andrews paid. Remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
He got her
How?
that $60 million lawsuit because he did some sexual assault.
Brett Favre's just he's a nasty. He's a nasty
Allegedly,
man.
She got paid. NFL paid her.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just the rich be fucking with some dumbass hoes.
Now she's doing curse commercials for Lexus, I think.
Yeah, she's like doing her own thing. She got
Yeah.
paid from the NFL.
Oh, sure she did. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Do you think she didn't get paid?
Look it up, Aaron
No,
Andrews.
she did. I agree. I think she got paid big time.
She
Fuck
did.
yeah, she got paid.
She got paid from that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Look up
Yeah.
Aaron Andrews,
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
That's only one
Look at that,
thing.
that's what that shit says. It says Brett Favre wanted inmates to help build his fraudulent volleyball stadium.
Yeah, man.
He's about to be one of them inmates, homie.
He's gonna be working on it. That's funny. Aaron Andrews would love a sit down interview with Brett Favre. Gosh.
So this is a pretty reputable source here. ESPN.
Yeah.
True.
Steve Young was some of these these articles are just
Who
funny.
watches baseball?
Man, it's been a minute, been a couple of years probably since I really sat down and watched baseball. Like
Yeah.
that.
Baseball.
Yeah.
It's you get some good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't found one.
It's just it's slow pace for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Going to the games though is different.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
but, oh, did I send you that video as a Dolphins fan that was going crazy in the after the game? He's walking out of the stadium. Where I was like, we need to go to a game after seeing that. Yeah. He's like, enjoy that flight, pussy. Enjoy that flight, pussy.
You in my state, bitch.
Yeah, literally. Tells
I'll be-
Megan
I'll be.
Kelly. Damn, I mean, talking about bury the story.
Hey, let's watch some hurricane fails.
Hurricane fails.
Gotta be something.
Well, like people like slipping and sliding in hurricanes and shit.
going on. Some fucked
Oh,
up shit.
like from today, like something new.
I don't know. Past,
Yeah,
present.
okay. I'm
might be
just
some
wondering.
shit.
Imagine if there's already some stuff.
I'd be fucked.
Isn't it crazy how like they can bury some stories?
Well, yeah, time too, though. To be fair,
That
in this
and
case,
what's
it's been some
crazier?
time.
that some shit can pop up on the internet that was like so fucking old, but like I just seen it.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's like, bro, that
I get introduced to new stuff all the
20
time.
years ago. I was like, what are you
yeah,
talking about?
definitely. Definitely, I get to introduce to new like scandals that I didn't know when they were going on, or stuff that people had
fucking memes
did,
and
or
shit, jokes that I was so late to.
Fetishes.
new fetishes.
And I mean,
Yeah, real.
I try to keep that away.
The fetish situation. Yeah, no, you don't want to catch any new weird fetishes. Like, well,
I don't know what
dang, now I'm into this.
I was gonna say, I don't. Damn it! How did I like this?
Now I gotta buy more butt plugs.
Jesus.
I gotta find a woman willing to pee on me. Not me. You know, it's for
Well,
the joke.
if you're
It's
on
for the joke.
Beckham, you get shit on.
Oh, for real? Oh yeah, I remember that story. I remember that story. That's nuts.
That she shit on his chest.
Yeah.
Maybe it
That was
wasn't
in a
him.
movie, man. That's a movie, not another teen movie.
Yeah. No, true. Where they sing the
Sure,
whole
it's in
song
a
about it.
movie.
Yeah, true.
I think that's
Oh,
probably
and then
got the idea from.
the dude at the end, she asked him to do it, right?
Yeah, no, she's like, how come
He called
every
her a
time I
bimbo.
ask a guy to do it on my chest, they don't want to? And the dude from he played in that show later on where he was the werewolf,
He
the
called her a
ghost and the
bimbo?
vampire hanging out together, being human. There you go. That we watched years later, and yeah, Josh was his name in that. But yeah, no, seriously, he's like,
Josh.
I'll take a dump on your chest. It's like, dude, you're a fucking idiot.
It's not another teen movie. You remember that? Shit?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Great movie.
That
No,
was
I
a great
don't. I
movie.
don't remember
Great
that.
fucking.
You don't remember that movie?
Maybe not. It
Who
sounds
remembers Euro
familiar, but
Trip?
I can't.
We might be able to play the song at the very least.
Who remembers Euro
It
Trip?
introduced us to Chris Evans, man.
It did introduce
Bro,
us.
Euro
Trip and Road Trip are the funniest fucking movies.
What
I
about
had-
National Lupin?
Here,
and
go ahead.
Wilder?
Here, you-
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Bro,
I thought that was
listen,
funny.
dog, listen. When I watched that movie, National
Is that the one where they
Lupin, Van
party
Wilder-
at that like Amish spot?
Which one?
No,
Just straight up Van Wilder?
no. National Lupin's Van Wilder.
National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just called Van
Lampoon.
Wilder, right?
Yeah, Lampoon.
You're just talking about Van Wilder, the
What'd
movie.
you
They
say?
didn't call it like that. It does say
No, that's-
National Lampoon's Van Wilder, but it literally it's big Van Wilder. It was like Ryan Reynolds' breakout movie.
Yeah,
Oh, hey, Van Wilder.
great movie.
Then Van Wilder 2, The Rise of Taj.
That was horrible.
That sucked.
That one sucked, but the
Hey,
problem
yeah,
so
yeah,
pissed
yeah,
at
yeah.
Tom.
Van Wilder freshman year. I remember that one too.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Taj Mahal. Yeah.
That's the best thing I've seen today.
Yeah, it is what it is, though.
Mostly seen bad stuff with the hurricane.
True.
But yeah, them naming him Taj Mahal, man, they could just go for it back in the day with comedy.
they could just
No, you
yeah.
could, bro. That's why I like
Okay, but
Andrew
yeah,
Schultz.
I mean, I
bro.
guess,
That's why
yeah.
I like Andrew Schultz.
Yeah. If you like Andrew Schultz, this is a page and channel for you.
Fucked us all up our
Yeah,
asses. Right there it is.
We're all gonna act like it's not hilarious that there's a guy named Taj Mahal in this movie. Come on, it's the best thing. It's the best thing a character's ever been named.
Look up Short Circuit.
Short Circuit.
Look up Short Circuit.
Can I get Short Circuit for 500?
Okay,
please?
you're about to. But then the thing is, this is what this man always does. We get on like we're like, oh yeah, we're on the same page, and then he shows me somewhere. It's like, okay, well that shouldn't be able to exist. I'm like, okay, well thank God they actually fixed that.
I'm serious. What are you out here? Come on now. You're doing terrible. Get to the
Did you
cast.
give this to me?
I need the cast. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Don't say anything. Let's just see what jumps out.
You can't pull up the pictures?
Well, you can, but we need to know who we.
Pictures, man. That's
Man, you're asking too much from Wiki.
I'm gonna give you the.
What's the character's name?
Just go. You're going to find it real quick, fast in a fucking hurry.
Oh my lord.
Should have the cast. Oh,
You got it.
G.W. Bailey.
No, you're up there. You're there. Look to the left.
Look to the
To the
left.
left, top left. No.
Tim
no.
Bailey,
Ali
Langley.
Jim
Fisher Stevens, please. Who?
Who is that?
Batuya.
Yeah.
And Jim
Go
Batuya.
look at what they made him look like. They might as well have taken C. Thomas Howell and done Soul Man all over again, except they did it to that.
Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they C. Thomas Howell the shit out of that dude. It was Soul Man all over again. Go check it out. I'm serious. They made him.
Is he black?
They made him. No, he's not. He's white as the driven motherfucking snow. But in the movie, he is from like India or something. It's crazy, and he has this accent that is so fucked up. It's
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up on so we can hear it.
Please do.
Yeah, let's see. His name's Jim Batu.
Look at it right there. That's him right there with the long fucking hair.
Well, I mean, hey, dude, he looks pretty sweet right there. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
He's chilling.
He's a cool. Hey,
I've seen this movie. This is a great movie.
Fucking acting. The funny thing, but okay, but the thing is you would not let this happen now. It's like
There's nothing wrong with that picture. I think that's just right now. Hold on, time out. But the picture you're showing us right now, I think that's not even from the movie.
I feel what
that's
you're
like his headshot.
It's like Tropic Thunder.
Like that's probably what he sent to get the role.
Tropic Thunder was literally the last funny movie that could make fun.
Can I see how to spell his name one more time?
That's facts. That's facts.
Exactly what
That
it
is facts.
There's too many fucking crying, bleeding heart motherfuckers. In the
Okay,
world
dude, do you want the mic or no?
No,
Client.
I don't have to have a mic, man. They probably heard me anyways back here yelling. But yeah, you're all up in my genre now, the bleeding hearts of the fucking America.
Let's talk about America.
Mandatory service.
All right, so hold on. Ben. Okay, it's not.
I don't know if I agree with mandatory service, but I do appreciate everyone that serves the country. And that's what
Okay.
it's like.
So
Great man, great actor.
this says right here. Oh my God.
Pulled off blackface.
Not many could do that.
Add that to your badge. If he was an NBA 2K player,
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer right there.
yeah, that's
Hall
a
of Fame badge.
Yeah, facts. You only get that when you get a list of other badges.
Make that bit purple.
Well,
That's
your
how they
Chromebook
do it
keeps
in
you
2K, right?
No. Yeah, I haven't played that.
No.
So real quick, this has been
You can only
Ben.
get certain badges.
This has been Jabatuya.
He's busy vomiting. Well, the cat is dragged in a sight for 4 eyes, that is for sure. You look dreadful. Oh, child, this is a barrel of monkeys.
Yo, could you
Let
get
us go
that closer
scrape
to
up
Dab so
some
you can
female
hear
chicks.
this?
An opportunity to spread your legs.
He's
Don't
the-
smell the pleases. Girlie, come quick, girlie, danger. Come on, you. Oh,
No,
What planet is this guy from?
He's doing a character
you
for
are
sure.
girl, right?
Yes, as far as I know.
I am standing here
I would
beside
have, bro.
myself.
Listen, I watched this.
Oh, I am sick of wearing the dress in his family.
So
Hey, let me take that.
I never.
whoa, hold on that last one. What was you got nothing to say? Well, I didn't hear it.
No, I don't need to hear it. I watched the movie when it first came out.
I never knew. I watched
me
the movie.
either.
I never knew he.
You were like, I thought he was genuine.
I thought it was genuine.
But so one thing I'll say is that when you see there's not a ton of representation in our films, period, of like Indian Americans or like many different groups can have the same claim. So when they are portrayed, and then it's like only in one way, though, I could see how that's frustrating. I don't necessarily have an issue with that being portrayed if that's a real thing, and art is supposed to portray life and all that. But like, how often do you see an Indian American portrayed differently? Just as a lot of them are, which is Americans. If you have anything, I don't know if you have anything. Or anybody could respond.
Do you think it's racist to like have like certain characters like really conform to like you could say a stereotype?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying to that race, like
So it's
specifically,
like a mermaid,
huh?
For instance, like a mermaid or
No, like I'll just do it
like a
I'll just-
fictional
For
creature.
instance, how we give one of the greatest black actors in the world an Oscar for portraying a crooked black drug dealing cop.
Denzel Washington.
Break. Denzel Washington. John Q, motherfuckers. How about that for an Oscar?
Oh man, that's fire.
Fucking
I mean, I
ridiculous.
hear what you're saying.
They
but
stereotype
Training
the
Day's
shit
a
out of
classic,
it.
though.
Come on. I'm
But-
not
but that-
saying
but
that.
that-
Other
no,
than
but
Ethan
that-
Hawke being a
but-
fuckwad in the movie.
But in California,
Okay,
that
fine, but it
happened.
doesn't matter.
That was
It
happening.
doesn't fucking matter. The man literally got an Oscar. He's played in so many. Glory. Glory was wonderful about the very first all black regiment in the Civil War.
Yeah, do it till the bubble.
I see what you're saying, but
Hey, do it till it bubbles
But the
a little
thing
bit.
is that did bring light to a situation that was happening in California at the time.
No, but if you remember what that brought light to? That brought light to people hollering and fussing because no black man had won an Oscar.
Oh, is that true?
So they
I don't know.
felt like, hey, if we're going to give one to somebody, let's give one to Denzel Washington.
Is that true? That no black person won an Oscar before Denzel Washington?
Not for a leading man. I don't believe so.
So
Not
let's-
Sidney Poitier?
Nope, I don't think. Not even for Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
First black man to win an Oscar.
Black man or just person?
It's I believe it was for leading man though.
Or leading man.
Yeah. He deserved Oscars years before this. He should have already had 2 of them on his shelf by now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But I mean,
should have.
Leonardo's the
Trust
same
me,
thing.
I'm not killing his movie. I'm killing the fact that I thought it was wrong. Did Sydney get it for Look Who's Coming to Breakfast or Dinner?
Lilies of the Field.
Build a chapel. Lilies
on the Field. Okay. I didn't even know he was in that.
Yeah, I don't even know what that movie is, but that's interesting. So that was in 1963.
Very old movie.
Yeah, and so was he the leading man? That was the other thing that you said, though, is that it might have been the first time, but it looks like he's like main build on the film, like his name's on the.
Must have been pretty fucking good in 1964.
Oh no, dude, it was phenomenal when he came out. It changed movies. Look Who Come to Dinner was literally him with a white woman. And that was unheard of.
I think I saw that.
That movie went viral.
Something that I think that this is maybe even understated. I think, but how important this is a lot of breaking down racism or prejudice from each other is exposure. So and sometimes that exposure is just not even accessible, at least easily, to some people. Some people grow up in communities that are dominated by people that look like them, and that's what they're around their entire life or whatever. Things like this give you an opportunity to even reach those people and show them like, hey, this is a story about, in this case, maybe a black person, 1960, whatever, and maybe in a relatable form, or maybe make you be able to feel some compassion for people that you maybe can't relate to. Right. So I think like what he was doing in that time, like 1963, and many people were doing at that time. But I think it's not just making movies. You feel what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's not just starring in a movie. It's not just winning an Oscar. So I think that's dope. Yeah,
there's a whole message
for sure. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Well, I don't want to send you back, but I'm curious. He won that Oscar. Is there any controversy around that, or was there any like issues with that at that time? Could you go back to where you were?
Definitely imagine. Well,
I'm sure it's documented there. If there was, you want to scroll down and just
was he cracking a nun?
It looked like he was.
It looks like it does a little reception, maybe.
Shorty was two-stepping.
That's crazy.
She was switching.
She was switching.
That's the entrance.
He walked up in there and Shorty was choosing. You know what I'm saying? Shorty was choosing.
Thick little bitty. I had to knock her off.
I'm good. Okay.
He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay out of this one. I'm gonna keep my ticket. Oh, you're funny. Interesting, yeah. 92% on Rotten Tomato, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching that shit. Can we get a list of?
I'm not watching that shit.
Can we get a list of the
different
black
by face,
actors
skin
to win a leading role Oscar?
But what a wonder adventure!
That's what we're looking at, right?
By the way, hey, real quick, just on the poster thing, it says right here, like the tagline to get people hooked: different by faith, skin, and calling. But what a wonderful adventure they shared. I think you might be right. Bills, I think you might be right about him.
Maybe.
He was packing.
We know nuns are freaks, man.
Hattie McDaniel, shout out to her from Gone with the Wind.
Gold.
I always thought that name was crazy.
He didn't get it in Glory. It wasn't for the leading actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. So who won? Yeah. Yeah, because who was the leading actor in that?
Cuba, really?
It was
hold on.
Broderick.
Hold on. I think I know this. What did Cuba get it for? What was that movie he played as a soldier?
Oh, that was a fire.
So you gonna half answer and then ask us? Hold up. I know it.
Fuck.
Hold up, I know it. What's the movie?
I was actually asking myself.
Okay, I feel that.
Hold on, chill.
Chill.
All right, go ahead. Fuck it. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do.
So supporting actor. That's what we're. Yeah. So the difference between a supporting actor and a leading actor. So I wonder who was the first black person to win as a lead actor.
Is it
Man of Honor? Okay. Is that when he was the submarine?
Drowning his ass in the fucking.
He was a Navy diver.
Yeah. Okay,
he was a master diver.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember? Yo, pull up.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing.
Did he win it for this one?
Can we pull up the video where he puts the diving equipment on?
And he has to walk.
Yeah.
It's so ill. I wish y'all could see it, man. If this wasn't live, I swear I'd be putting this in the podcast because y'all need to see this.
Because this shit is crazy. If you haven't seen this shit, go
look it up right now, man. Hey, and y'all probably educate yourselves. There's a hurricane coming. Yeah, so check out the exactly. I'm gonna say, what would that equipment be called?
Scuba gear, diving gear, scuba gear.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It's a different level.
Is it?
I guess.
They use dive equipment.
Probably going deeper, like type. Is it? Oh, is scuba? Is that where you just like have the thing that pokes out the?
What is diving? You're attached to something. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I
got you.
I would assume.
We don't know. We're like, what's up?
Hey, I watched the video. We only swim and fish in the like fucking top 1% layer of the ocean.
I'm about to airdrop this to you because I found it.
It's fucked.
Oh no, that's the laptop. Did you get it?
It should pop up.
It should bounce everywhere. Here, there, everywhere.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. You're gonna be able to hear it though.
Be loud.
That's the best I could do for y'all.
Well, isn't his leg fucked up?
He has no leg. He has one leg.
Right.
It's the baby's first amputee divers.
Wear that ring and approach the rail.
Oh, it's quiet.
People need to see what happens.
There you go. He's already pulled him up.
One.
Damn, man, he had to do that shit back in the day, man. This shit hella heavy.
Dude, these are those movies that just make you feel great. Oh, is this like he's trying to get his pension or something, right?
No, he wants to be reinstated. He has not paid back.
Power.
He's not retired from the WWE.
He's trying to be Halo. He's trying to be Halo for real.
Yeah, and that gear weighs 200 pounds. The point was they were trying to show that he couldn't wear the new gear. So they pulled him before a board to prove that he could wear the new gear, even being an amputee. Yeah.
Shook right now.
Wait, what's cracking his fucking leg?
Please.
That's the guy against it. He can't stand the old ways. Knows nothing of tradition.
Navy divers, stand down. Divers, you will disregard. This is my detail.
Piss off, boy.
Hey, wouldn't that
God
shit
damn
be
it,
lighter in the
Cookie.
water?
Move your ass. I want my 12.
I want my 12 steps.
I guess so. I'm done.
No, you're not dumb. It's just, yeah.
I'm not going to.
Navy diver is not a fighting man. He's a salvage expert.
I stay on top of it.
10. If it's lost underwater, he finds it. If it's sunk, he brings it up.
Yeah.
He moves it.
Let's go, Robert De Niro. Bring it home.
If he's lucky, he will die young 200 feet beneath the waves. Well, that is the closest he will ever get to being a hero. Hell, I don't know why anybody want to be a Navy diver. Now you report to this line, Cookie.
Yeah, you absolutely right.
Right now,
You're like,
I want to go bench
sailor.
press. I want to go bench press something right now.
I'm gonna be a fucking sailor, mom.
No, he was a soldier, man. I'm ready for this hurricane after saying that. 12 steps. Let's go.
12 steps.
And one leg.
Shout out to him. What was that guy's? So this is a real person that this movie is made after?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know his name offhand?
Keep it going.
Chief Richard. Okay. Wait, no, hold on. Chief Richard may have been the master chief that trained him in basic. That may have been Robert De Niro's character, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character.
Yeah, you're right.
Chief Petty Officer Carl Brashear.
Yeah, Carl Brashear. Yeah, because his name's Carl in the movie. That I remember.
Yeah, he's him. He's him.
Bro, could you imagine being called Chief Petty Officer? Like, I'd feel so kind of disrespected.
That's why he came back, and he's like, nah.
No, he's right. He's like, I wasn't done. He didn't want to be done. He didn't want to be forced to retire.
How'd he lose his leg?
After he came up from a dive, the way they show it in the movie is they portray it as the crane snaps and they drop the missile that they find. They find a nuclear warhead.
That's right.
And they drop it onto the deck of the ship. And when it happens, the cable actually comes and snaps into play and it actually cuts his leg off. He actually saves, I think, a soldier in the process.
Dang.
Okay.
So hold up. They
No
found.
leg?
They found. I'm a little confused about that part. Is that something that happens? We just find like nuclear warheads. We're like, oh wow, why is this here in the ocean?
Well, in the movie Russia supposedly, I think, lost it. I think.
Okay, I can see it.
I lose expensive stuff sometimes.
Well, we
Yeah,
also-
no, I mean, I never misplaced my fucking wallet, let alone a goddamn nuclear weapon. How about we check chain of command on
Oh
that?
shit! Oh, he says, "Oh, Captain, we dropped a missile off this ship."
Fuck it, nobody find any water.
Okay,
All right,
you got, yeah,
he brought up
It's
Russia.
American water.
He brought up Russia. How do you guys feel about the whole Russian-Ukraine situation right now? There's an update to that, man?
No,
yeah,
people
let's
don't
check
care
it.
anymore.
Russia
Everybody
is
move on to the next
trying to
thing,
take his
you know?
people and use
You know
them
how
for
the news
bait.
does it. They're trying to do what?
Yeah. Well,
Well, I said,
can we run
I
that back?
said, I said Russia in my head. I was speaking as Putin, but I meant that's what I meant. I was like Putin's using them people as bait.
Who? Ukraine?
Not Putin. He's like trying to get all his
So he's basically trying to bait us into a war, is what you're saying.
yeah, basically.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's great to know.
if you want to read any of this, because you got the clear screen.
What?
The Russian president.
Yeah, he's trying to bait us into war.
Oh my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just asking. I was clarifying.
Okay. Yeah.
Moscow's threat is clearly nuclear. Putin has presented his bellicose rhetoric, warning last week that Russia would make use of all weapon systems available. As we know, they have.
Yeah.
They've been very consistent with that. It says not a bluff by Putin. It's funny. I do believe him. You know, I don't think that he's bluffing, and I think that's the scariest part about it. You know,
Sure.
when you think of all the different factors, like we're supplying them with weapons. How far do we have? You know,
How much leeway?
well, the United States is in a very strange position. I think we have a lot of Russia thinks of us when they do their various military tactics, but how much we will affect the outcome, doing what we're doing, I don't know. I mean, you can supply them with weapons, but if they don't know how to use those weapons, then what good does it do? Especially when they have nuclear power.
Right, and then Russia goes in and takes them. We're just arming them again. It's like,
So you would be pro to see more intervention from.
Well, I think
United
because we're
States.
supplying them with weapons, that nuclear threat becomes more and more of a factor because Putin, like I said, he's not bluffing. You know, he's a person that I think would do that, and I'm afraid that what we're doing right now, we're kind of adding fuel to that fire.
Okay. Yeah. Without mitigating it in any way.
Right.
Yeah. I can see that. So why do you think that the United States isn't aware of that? As far as do you think that they think that they're doing enough?
Yeah,
or?
a lot of people have questioned Joe Biden's decision making. I know that
Sure.
you probably have your opinions on Joe Biden.
I don't even know if he knows he's making the decisions.
Yeah.
You know, some people have said he doesn't seem like he's aware of what his,
Yeah.
that
He just have his bearings.
he's a little bit too old.
It's
for the
fading.
position.
His cognitive
A lot of
ability is
tools.
fading.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he has a good support system around him, and I'd like to say that he has the power of the U.S. military behind him.
Mhm.
But how much they trust his decision making is also probably something that you have to factor in. I don't know that if they see him as a military leader
Yeah.
in the way that he's supposed to be. As
Oh
the commander.
shit! Our president is our chief of command, isn't
Well,
he?
yeah, but
Master Chief.
Oh my god!
I think that's pretty common, though. I mean, we've had several presidents
Joe
that
Biden, what do we
have
do?
no
He's
military
just standing on the
background.
stage.
well, that's the
Um,
thing. You have Vladimir Putin, who does have that military background. He's ex-KGB.
Sure.
He's got that professional experience, and he carries himself with that. And when people think of him, they think of someone who has that military experience. And so we don't see that with Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or any of the recent presidents.
Recent presidents, yeah.
And that's something that, I always think of like Teddy Roosevelt, like a guy who's like really has that. I'd like to see another person like that get elected in office, regardless if they're black or white, or
Yeah.
Just down for the fight.
just someone who has that, some type
Experience.
of experience that I think, that experience is important. And I see that as an asset that they haven't brought to the table.
Do you think as a country we don't value that?
We probably need to move more in that direction because of what Russia's doing. So when you think of the global political climate, you have
Yeah.
a power growing in the East that is more aggressive in the way that they handle situations. They seem to kind of throw their weight around a little bit more than we used to. And you have that situation with Taiwan and China. That political climate is also getting a little bit cloudy. How do we navigate through these next few years without someone with that background? It seems like it's trending more to like a militaristic modality or way of thinking, and we don't really have that with any, or we haven't had that with any of our.
Yeah,
I don't think we can.
You said earlier that when Russia makes decisions that they consistently have us in mind, and you question, right, how much we do the same.
Right.
So isn't that it might be a luxury that we don't have anymore with advanced weaponry, for example. But I think the United States has kind of like typically made their decisions without having others in mind. That's the point of them being a world power. They have their own self-interest in mind, first and foremost. So whether that be like electing people that are more I don't know, business minded is the thing, or stable. Like, I mean, or if you elect somebody that has military experience, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But definitely a balance would be important, because I wouldn't want to elect officials based off solely like a foreign threat, because there's a lot of domestic threats that we need to address, and a lot of that a military mindset could be harmful. You know what I mean? If like those are when we get into conversations about like the National Guard being in Chicago and things like that, which maybe is necessary, maybe I don't know. But when you talk about people that are have that kind of mind, I worry about how that could also be weaponized on its.
So here's one thing that I brought up to this
RPGs and all.
Donald Trump is actually he actually started the Space Force, and I know that you have a military background, Big James. How do you feel about Donald Trump being the kind of he signed the documents to create a new line of service that's really important with the future of protection and global, the way that we are perceived by other countries as this global presence, the satellites and all the infrastructure that goes into that is going to be directly under that control. Having someone like Donald Trump as the kind of not the creator but the person who kind of signed the documents,
right?
You're trying to say like how do you feel about like him being the guy to?
Well, yeah, him being the guy that finally like implements that level of military, action. Not. But at the end of the day, though, all he really did was sign the documents and implement it. He did not come up with a design plan of that at all.
Right. I think
so. You got to think of that as well, and you also have to remember we passed on one of the greatest opportunities to hire or elect a military mindset to the presidency of the United States. We passed on that. We had that opportunity after Desert Storm was over. We had 4-star General Colin Powell. We had two problems with that. One, he would have been the first black president of the United States. The second part would have been he was completely military minded, and that was his biggest background, was the United States Army. And people were worried because they've watched movies like the Bruce Willis, Denzel Washington movie Under Siege,
right,
where New York went under siege because there was the terrorist threats, and Annette Bening was running around sleeping with a sleeper cell guy. And basically what happened was Bruce Willis was the general who pushed a little too hard. Okay. And everybody who looked like they were of any type of a brown skin, anybody whose last name was Muhammad, anything like that, were now in concentration camps. Tony Shalhoub was in the movie. He was actually one. He worked for the government. He was one of the detectives, and he's like, my own son is in one of these camps, and I work for the government. You know what I mean? So they depict it as the military being the superpower that's going to come in and storm over everything.
Right.
People have asked me many times, what do I think about, the towers and all that? Do I think that was America and all that? Because for some, I'm into some conspiracies and things like that. I don't believe we did that to our own people. You're not going to convince me, somebody who proudly wore that uniform, that our commander in chief commanded our own planes and everything else into our buildings, killing that many people. I don't believe it.
Jeff Hill doesn't.
They're afraid of a Manchurian candidate. Kind of,
yeah,
where that's someone who's like
100%
to behave that way.
Absolutely. Sorry,
you're good. So I would agree that I'm sure that has an impact, because like movies and things like that, we were just talking about earlier how they have a huge impact on society and how they perceive things. But I would say, and this is maybe not a reason not to elect somebody that has a military background. I'm not trying to necessarily make that connection, but I do want to say that even the people that we've had in office so far, that don't have a military background, we've already seen in real life examples of overextending themselves past what would be considered like a protection of our civil rights, for example. One thing that I can think of, and this is not a great example, but it's an example that has happened in my lifetime that I remember seeing for the first time. Police officers like go up to people's doors and say, "You have to let us in here." And it was the Boston bombing. On the news, there was awesome coverage of that. At the time, I remember watching it throughout the day when they were searching for the people because they were escaping through Boston or whatever. And at that point, they couldn't find them at a certain point. They ended up locking down a whole area of Boston. And then they literally police officers were going to people's door by door to their house. And I understand the reason is to find terrorists. So I'm not arguing against the reason, but it's definitely you're pushing individual rights to the side for the greater good because we need to find these dangerous people. But like, when does that stop? When does that become a little bit easier? How often do you start to, once you do it, it's like once you do it one time, it becomes easier to do. Or also it comes to us where it's like, oh, this is what is supposed to happen, but it's not supposed to happen really under any circumstance, as far as I know, where the government in America anyways is now coming into your house, no warrant, anything like that. It's like a state of emergency, basically, equivalent of that. So if you wanted to hop in, I don't know if you have.
Yeah, so I think that you're right. We're definitely a little bit afraid of that Manchurian candidate, aspect to it. You don't want someone in that position who's going to overextend the power of the military. A lot of people who have served or who have that background are still very, cognizant of that. I think that someone like Colin Powell would have been a great candidate, and maybe in today's political climate, because of what we're experiencing now with Russia, that threat that's now there, or that's been more apparent there. But at the same time, you don't want, a militarization of the police force or anything like that. And
I think I push back on that though, because I think the problem is with having someone. I mean, I think you have to have someone that has a background, in the military, but not necessarily be military minded. So just to make my standpoint clear, to be honest on this, I think it should be. I mean, it's probably a little bit of a stretch to say it should be a requirement, but I mean, I think like it should be a prerequisite. Yes, to be a president, you should have served because you're going to be in charge of that. Right. So I think that there's really great things that could come from having somebody that has actually experienced war, has seen people that they love pass away in war, things like that, had the actual emotional connection to it, to be making these decisions. Right. I see more value in that than I see negatives, but I'm really talking it's a societal thing in general. I don't think it's specific to. I think we've seen that. Like I said, none of these presidents. George Bush didn't serve in the military, and that's when we got into things like what's the Patriot fucking law, where they were able to look at your phones. I don't remember what it's called now, but. Patriot Act. Yes, thank you. So things like that. He doesn't have any military experience. It's not like he's going.
I believe Bush was in the National Guard, man.
Okay, well, all right.
But I think, shout
out to him. I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to him. No, I love that. I want to be correct.
America's more of a business, though.
Yeah.
Than anything. So it's like you also have to have someone that has a business background. Well, I do agree that they do need to have some type of military background, some type of military capability.
I don't agree it's a business. I understand the comparison that's often made there.
A corporation number.
But there's a difference because it is a country. So it's like you have to acknowledge that difference. If we get away from acknowledging that difference, then
we import a lot more than we export. Like there's a lot we depend on a lot. Like our economy is very tricky. Yeah. Like I think you have to have someone that has some type of understanding.
I think you should be a master negotiator.
But that's why I was thinking.
You wanted it to represent the best of the country. So I think, in general, like these things are all great. I agree. I think that should that's part of the issue that I think people had with Trump and Biden. Like that doesn't represent the best of us, of the country. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of ways, Trump was extremely divisive to people. It's like that's kind of like weak temperament doesn't represent the best of us. And then with Biden, I don't want to bash him because he's our current president, but it's like a lot of people look at him and they don't say this is the best that we have to offer in politics to represent us on the grandest stage, like the world stage.
Maybe it is though, and that's the problem.
But we know it's not. But we know it's not. We know it's not because we can see the best person to represent us. Now, maybe there's certain people. I agree with you that he is the best person to represent us. Those are special interests in why people get put in those positions. But we're saying like for the best of the country, you think Biden? There's billions of people. You know what I'm saying?
Look what we had to choose from, right? Who did we have? We had Biden, and then who else?
Who sets the choices? And then, that's the problem. You're already losing me with the choice because you're
you still have those other parties that are out there. And
but their campaign doesn't last and shit.
They don't get put on the same. They don't get put on the debates to show like on a national stage. Like it's grassroots kind of stuff you're talking about. They don't have. They obviously don't have the same funding because they don't have the same.
People fucking donating to them and funding them themselves.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of issues with that. So a lot of issues with, in general, like campaign contributions. These are common, and that's one of the things that Bernie ran on recently when he ran last time was the campaign contributions, which was one of the most kind of like, I don't know, beautiful things about his campaign, that he wasn't taking these huge bribes in a lot of ways. To be honest, they're legal bribes.
Yeah,
kind of stuck.
That's why he wasn't president.
Yeah.
No, one thing I found was interesting was that in the comparison between the United States and Russia, they had highlighted that there seems to be right when the Ukrainian sniper teams were putting up numbers and taking off some of the leaders in the Russian military, they highlighted that the leadership, they don't have the background that the U.S. Leadership has.
Who? And I mean, who are you talking about? Right? Ukraine?
I think. The United States, the leadership that we have in the military. Mm-hmm. So the people who enlist as an officer.
The chain of command we have. No one has our chain of command.
Right. Like our officers are, they're trained professionals. They have, college degrees, and they have backgrounds that kind of extend beyond their military service. Okay. They were saying that they don't necessarily have that in Russia. And one thing that I think is interesting is that if you there's probably a big correlation between levels of service and education. I think that when you look into when you see some of the higher levels of military service, there's a certain level of education that comes with that. Because they do have opportunities to educate yourself within the armed services. Yeah. People who are in those leadership positions in the military often do supplement their careers with educational backgrounds in like specializations and things like that. So I think because of that, when you have people like we have like Nancy Pelosi, she makes millions of dollars, and they're all speculating that's insider trading. And
it is, it's 100% is.
Her educational background isn't necessarily as prestigious as, for example, the community college of the Air Force or the military. A lot of those people in that position who are really controlling what happens in the country don't necessarily have backgrounds that justify their positions. And so that's one thing that I see the military as is it kind of creates a level of stability that you can look to as, yes, because he did achieve that level of service, that level of he did achieve that level with his service. He also did supplement his education. I think he looked into these various opportunities. Like I don't see the correlation between the level of education and background with the amount of money that some of these political leaders or representatives have.
I think that's the difference between Russia and then the United States. Though is the way that both countries are set up is a lot different. So that's why you see the generals, and the higher ranking officials in Russia, you may see them as more prepared. But it's just that it's a different system, like the thing is, like, as far as military goes, like America has probably, I'm not even gonna say probably, we have the greatest military force in the world when it comes to Navy, air, you know what I'm saying, land, like we're top notch, like we don't really lack there. As far as leadership goes, I think we do lack in leadership, and that's very evident. That's evident from China to Russia. And, you could say it's because, we're a democracy or whatever, but I think it's just from crooked politics at this point.
What are you pulling up here, Dad?
Well, and not to say this, I'm leading into this. Not to say that education is the only requirement. A lot of these people who have served, they're distinguished in all these different ways. Like Big James, you said that you were on a team of military specialists who were assigned to certain tasks that aren't necessarily entry level. Isn't available to those entry level. Fahim, someone that we know he got a military contract. He got his, signed on with an enlistment bonus. There's incentives for those who are interested in that line of service, and they pay well, but he wants to be an Army Ranger. He has his Ranger contract that he's going to go and do. I think that when those people when you achieve that level of, whether it be physical or, a lot of them are in leadership positions, it creates a certain type of person, and I think it creates a candidate that you can actually, trust in and believe in. So I think someone with that background could probably do pretty well in today's political climate. Sure. At the same time, it's not the only, criteria. I do believe that there's.
What thing? You also have to worry because we also sit here and talk about cancel culture and how we become a society of, oh, you can't do this. You're offending me. You're offending that. And that is one of our biggest problems with when we look at that group that is against that whole military aspect. That is a large populace of the United States. Look at the figures now. I know that it had to have been in the late 90s. No. It would have been in the early 90s, mid 90s, because my oldest was probably about 5 years old at the time. And I talked to an Air Force colonel, and he told me that literally like 89% of America will not join the military. Like 89%, they're not interested, nothing.
It's funny.
And that was then.
Y'all were talking, I'm just debating myself. I'm like, shit, if I had to, would I? Yeah. Like, man, if I did a fucking test, they'd probably be like, man, you can't. Like, all right, bet.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
So by the way, because I want to get some more of these topics in before we get y'all out of here so you can get safe at home. Related to this, Kanye as well. Talking about running for president again. How do you feel about things like that? People that are public figures, don't have any career in politics. Donald Trump would be considered that, maybe a little bit more closely related to politics. But Ronald Reagan, but I think he was like actually held an official position before he got president.
Like low level official, I believe.
But no, I mean, good point. Yeah.
Kanye, I think he's a very he's a public figure, but didn't you say that they were doing something with the new? I always have to bring them up together.
Yeah.
The Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they're doing like a spin off of that.
Okay. I don't think he's in it though.
No,
I don't think
this is the rollout for that.
Hey, Kanye West.
I think it's gonna be.
Hey, you see Kanye West posted or tweet or something? He's like,
the Queen thing.
Yeah, he's like Scotland. Yeah, I feel I lost my Queen too.
Yeah. No, well,
I think no.
Or UK. He didn't say Scotland.
Well, one thing that I think Donald Trump did a great job at playing on. I think he was right to do that because I mean, I think the best case scenario that you get from this is that, which is somebody that's an outsider that's not influenced by what is already standing, and we all view as what's standing as corrupt and something that we don't like. We don't feel like it works for us as people. So when you have an opportunity to put somebody like Donald Trump or Kanye in that position, then it's like I could see the appeal, but it's the people that are volunteering to do that. Actually, not Donald, but Joe Rogan used to say on his podcast a long time ago when I listened to it a lot. He used to always say on there that he would never want to be president. I always thought that was a really profound statement that I agreed with, but I never had heard somebody say it like that. But I really agreed with how he put it. I thought was always really profound. As far as like he also said another thing that I thought was like, that's really interesting, that nobody that wants to be president should be president. So two things, the two statements exist.
It's a prerequisite that you don't want the position. So that's why I look to military service, because it might be something like not randomly picked out of the military for their achievements, but like you become a candidate that way.
Sure.
I think it would really refine the process and kind of eliminate some of those
people that aren't serious.
It's like I feel like it's so
there's corruption. There's corruption.
I'm about to say there's hating ass scumbags and shit.
There's corruption everywhere.
Yeah, but if you're so yes, there's going to be people that are corrupt. Hold up, real quick. There's going to be people that are corrupt in the military that then become like they get into politics. But from what Dan's saying, if your goal is like your end goal from the jump is just to be corrupt in politics, just having that barrier there of the military, am I right, would then like kind of weed out some of the people that aren't. You'd have to be really committed to being a scumbag. Which I guess then at that point, that's our job to weed those people out the next round. But it's kind of doing part of the job for us in the first round. You feel what I'm saying? There's no like just decide you want to be a scumbag now and you can get politics.
By that time you're like being a scumbag, you're trying to be a scumbag, you're just like, all right, I'm gonna be a good person.
Well, no. Also, you're like, but I gotta risk my life and I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. No, I'll find another way.
With all those different services, you got to go through basic training. Then you have to go through all those different checkpoints to get those ranks.
You just build the hate up. You're just like,
it's hard. It's hard to get to that end point without all that hard work to get there. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people they don't see the president as a leader. I mean, we have the largest military force on the planet. Yeah, undeniably the most advanced military force.
And a space force. Holy shit!
In the world, the position that is in charge of leading that force. I think maybe some line of service may be required. Like like they don't have to necessarily
Kanye's a no-go.
Hey, what about this? What about this?
There's no
Hey, what about this?
So Kanye's a no-go.
Hey, what about this? Instead of like the Supreme Court, that should be like presidents. Like we should have a bunch of people.
You're cooking right now.
Like an oligarch.
No, we would then have to refine the people that are getting into the president position because we're still at this point going to have a bunch of fucking idiots that are in the Supreme Court. Honestly, puppets. A lot of we forget the military. Even we as a society view our president in a lot of cases as a puppet. When George Bush was president, a lot of the shade that got thrown at him was he's stupid, and anything that they said he was responsible for, they said Dick Cheney planned. So it's a consistent thing since we've had presidents that people have viewed them as puppets for whatever you might feel like they're a puppet for. But yeah, everybody has their thing.
But you're right. It can't be the only requirement, and you're right. Exactly. That's something that I think
become lobbyists. Well, yeah, they become lobbyists straight up. They're lobbyists.
Well, they have the revolving door. They go in and out of, they go from one seat to a lobbyist. Yeah. That revolving door kind of creates all these different industries that we have.
Can't you just get rich and be a lobbyist, basically?
One way.
I feel like it's what they are.
Do it under entrepreneurship.
I asked Denzel about this. How do you feel about, we don't think of, all right, so for Donald Trump is a businessman. We see him as a businessman. He's a very successful businessman. He's got
hella money when he was in office.
He built his empire. He's got all these hotels in different parts of the world. He's seen as like a no BS type guy. He's seen as a very
Hasn't he filed bankruptcy twice?
Well, here's the thing. How do you guys feel about like someone like Elon Musk running for president? I know that I had stated that military background is important, and I think it is. Because of the argument that someone in his position who has those, he's doing military contracts, he's a leader of this huge company, supplies this very important service to the world. He arguably has a lot of the things that I think Donald Trump was trying to kind of make an argument for it. I mean, knowing how to run a successful business is important. And I think a lot of people see Donald Trump as that. And, they thought, he's going to get us out of debt. He's going to change the economy. Someone like Elon Musk, who is the richest man on the planet, wouldn't that be an alternative to what we have now?
How do you feel about him not being from America?
You're kidding, right?
Because that would eliminate him. I'm asking. I'm being serious.
Yeah, I'm like,
hold on.
Are you serious?
My one argument with this,
I clearly stated that military service is a prerequisite. So I prefaced my statement with that. My point being,
Elon Musk is not American.
My point being,
he's never been in the military.
Okay.
Well, but he's saying like regardless of that.
Hey, forget all that.
I'm saying to go on the complete opposite side. Because I like to take a step outside.
Leave the left wing and go to the right wing.
Outside
Roger
of
that.
We're on the same damn bird.
Who else?
Well, my thing is my only pushback.
No, I want you to finish.
He can't.
This is the stupidest shit ever in my life. Elon Musk for president.
The thing is, I can't do it.
Being in the military is a prerequisite. This is what I made sure I prefaced.
My only pushback is because he is not he's not presidential.
Okay.
He does not. He does not carry himself.
Man, just worry about getting us to Mars, bro.
Because you got to understand the way that he is and the way that his brain works and the way that he functions is just it's not presidential. He's not thinking.
He doesn't carry himself for that.
He's not gonna be able to think about what I'm saying.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Being born here is a big prerequisite.
Like he actually thinks
he's
about
got goals. He's got his goals that he's trying to accomplish for humanity, but he doesn't necessarily want to be in charge of humanity. That's not.
Do you think that limits what he's able to do if
wait till he
make
get to
him president
Mars
and he has the responsibilities, like the bureaucratic responsibilities of a president, where now he's responsible for a company, but maybe he has a little bit more leeway to if he decided to do things that could impact people.
He could maybe have more leeway, but he would have less. But he would have less time.
Think of that.
Oh, hey, Bills.
No,
actually,
yeah, he could do.
This is go ahead.
No, you can't because there's just checks and balances for stuff like that.
Bills. Well, no, Bills actually told me about something today. What was the California thing?
Oh,
they'll pay you like $1,000 or some shit.
That if you're a California resident and you don't have a car, they'll like pay you $1,000 a month or something. I'm about to move there.
The average poor person ain't gonna go buy a car. They're gonna take that $1,000 a month and get on that bus.
Or you could look at it in like a couple months. You could have a car.
Wait a minute. When's this $1,000 payment? How often is it?
It's probably
so it's every month.
It's a bus card.
You know how many motherfuckers ain't even going to work now?
Bro, you can get fucking $900 for saying you're transgender over there.
I'm up 1,900 right now.
I don't want Elon Musk for president.
Baby.
I prefer that they had the military background that kind of. I think that
I didn't know
the argument for someone like Donald Trump was that he was a successful businessman, and you have like Elon Musk, who's arguably, he's a very successful,
and he's insulated from the political thing. You know what I mean? He's not a part of that.
I mean, people would like that he's not political, but then that also is.
It would be naive though to think that, like for example, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they're not political. They are. They're extremely important as far as the political. So the thing is, they have those relationships already. It's kind of like a trick to pull. The trick that Donald Trump pulled to say like, hey, I'm not a part of any of this, but like. Okay, what about all the pictures?
I mean, he has to be somewhat affiliated with them and rub shoulders.
Of course, yeah.
But in a sense, like to have the mind for it, I mean, I don't know. I think just Elon is focused on getting to Mars and creating his super civilization.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
If Elon was president, he already knows how to run a factory basically and how to like put components together in the most like strategically way and most like efficient way.
Yeah.
You probably have great ideas on how to fucking get people to
put us in
get
boxes.
shit done.
Well, I'm saying
he's innovative, yeah.
And not even the way that we can't say like fuck it because he's South American, but like if there was an American with his type of alkaloids in his fucking brains, that'd be lit.
Yeah,
or even half as smart as him, honestly.
He's a very intelligent man, and I think that someone like that is a strong candidate in today's world. But I do prefer, I do think honestly that a president with a strong military background is what we need moving forward, because of that growing Eastern power in Russia and of course China.
It's not even just the military aspect of it.
I don't even know who we need.
People fail to realize is that how they're really getting us is they're trying to overthrow the U.S. dollar as the common currency in the world. That is bigger. They're trying to kill our economy too, which is another thing. So you have to have some type of background in business and understand what's going on.
Make sure.
So that's all I'm saying. I mean, but
another thing I wanted to double down on with that California thing, the $1,000 payment for not having a car, and then I want to say if you could pull it up, Dav, there's some story about they were going to outlaw non-battery.
We're talking about a place that takes 41% of your taxes. So like they're like, here, take 1,000 up. That's 600.
That's good. Outlaw non-battery.
California. I think they take that when you make $1 million.
Yeah, California has all these special taxes that you have to pay for emissions.
Oh yeah,
I think that's just one step in that direction. It's not too far away from them saying that. They have a large home.
First of all, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to set everybody up on getting licked, bro. They're like, yeah, you don't need a fucking car, just walk. Like, yeah, right.
Well, I mean, there's a dark conspiracy with this as far as like, this is a move towards getting people when they don't have cars, and that's taking away some of your obviously your freedom with taking away your mobility if you buy into it. But there is also the taxes that I've read about that as far as like
Could you imagine? Dude,
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know shit about cars. Like now would be a good time to be a mechanic.
The rule also sets interim targets requiring that 35% of new passenger vehicles sold by 2026 produce zero emissions. This requirement climbs to 68% by 2030. Now these numbers, I mean, it's hard to really break down the numbers, but when you think of like even like political representatives, when they look at the demographics of people, like, oh, it's like 50%, 51% Democrat, 49% Republican. Things like that, where you want to get like a level of like, you want to know how much that's going to require to do. 35% of new passenger vehicles, these percentages are so, I mean, astronomical. Like the
mean like the actual number of people that
like,
affects?
Hell yeah, they got like fucking 50 million billion people.
Like
my thing is who's
to 49%, even like those couple percentage points is a large number of people.
So what I'm saying is 35% by 2026.
That's a lot.
There's
of people.
no way that
Look at the next
a lot
number.
of people are able to afford that
68% by 2030.
in California right now.
4 years later.
Like who's going to buy a Tesla right now in California?
Teslas are expensive,
Bro, they're moving to Texas.
Oh, in California, they'll buy them in California, but they're expensive.
Yeah, they're
You know what I'm
expensive.
saying? Like,
They're expensive everywhere.
And also, is it better for the environment? I wonder. Like all these batteries
No.
being created.
the resources that it takes to create the fuel
Coal.
cells that they use is more costly. So it's
Yeah.
like this weird. It after you get to a certain point, it starts to numbers start to.
We need hydrogen.
But that they said that there was a water powered car.
There was.
The Buffalo, the person that was killed in the
I
Buffalo
saw the
shooting.
video.
Have you saw this?
I have a video.
There was a
Conspiracy. We can get into it. The Buffalo mass shooting. This was part of.
I have knowledge of a video. I don't have a video.
I'll pull up a video. But yeah, so somebody that was killed in the mass shooting, and I would like to see if this
Wait,
is.
what?
We want to fact check it. Yeah, I'd like to fact check it.
The water
I just
powered car
read
was
it.
a guy named Stanley. I think
Yeah,
his name was
that's
Stanley.
like
And it was like
78 years ago.
Yeah, this is an older
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is more recent.
Yeah, the whole car, like this was like in the 20s, actually 30 some shit.
What happened? Why did they? Well, I guess we
Like
can see.
them.
I was wondering what happened with the white.
Bro, bro, honestly, if you would look at all the inventions in the 1920s and 30s, bro,
was called in to get rid of him.
Yeah, Stanley Meyer, the water fuel cell car. Supposedly it was a perpetual motion machine, and it ran off of like bottled water. Like it no fuel was necessary. There's a video of him driving it on the highway, and he died after a meeting with two representatives of this company, and he said he was poisoned before he died. And
Wow.
he has a twin brother.
Hold on, he said he was poisoned?
Yeah,
So he's like, I'm poisoned, I'm gonna die right
yes,
now.
that's what he
Holy
said.
shit.
Yes. So that there was there's a big story behind about his death and everything, but like
It's
something
ironic
like
if they poisoned his water.
if you went straight to water, I think that would be more of a dramatic effect rather than
sure.
like electricity.
Yeah,
because it costs too much. Like you said, it costs too much money to create the fuel.
I always been thinking that, like, what do you think about, like, okay, yeah, I ate
Hopefully
this shit.
they-
I know I'm about to die. Like, what am I thinking about? Damn, I'm
Hopefully
about
they
to
would
die.
use salt water.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I guess. Yeah, tell
That
people.
sucks.
Tell people.
But then
But yeah,
salt
could you look
would
up
be
Buffalo shooting and then water powered car? I want to look up that. That was something we get into this conspiracies here, and I want to fact check that since I brought it up. But yeah, remember the mass shooting that happened in the grocery store?
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yes.
in Buffalo.
Yeah. This
Just so happened to be a
this is like last
fucking
year.
dude who had a
This is some
hydrogen engine.
conspiracy shit right here.
related to his work.
Just fucking insane.
So I'm really, if anything, we could just shout out to him if this is true.
All I gotta say is,
But he did
if you've ever
invent
seen
a
that
water
live
powered
stream,
So his name was Aaron Salter
Jr.
Jr.
Yep.
And he did in fact invent a water powered car engine. So
That's sick.
that's
factual.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is the important fact.
That is sick.
Whether or not it
Shout
was
out to him.
directly,
Yeah.
shootings. I think that the way that, especially, I think like last
What
year
the
there was
fuck?
like over 300 something.
Who else
like
died?
school shootings. Like
This fucking genius.
Like just specifically.
How many?
That didn't feel
over
random when I
300.
saw it.
I'm trying to remember what the numbers were for that. But when you think
Can
of
you
like,
can you actually go?
Bro, I don't know where I don't know where at,
I wanna
but I just
read
read
that
this
real quick.
article that
This article?
some guy
Yeah,
ran up
go
on
on.
5 kids after a football
By
practice.
the way,
and shot
thank
them
you,
or a
Duce
game.
Andretti, for showing some like interest in the fucking man that created the hydrogen.
Aaron Salter.
I don't like
Jr.
how they discredit that it wasn't because of his work right away. I think that
Yeah, you got to look into that.
you know,
Yeah, you got to look into that. But yeah, that is he was a retired police officer who worked as a security guard at Tops Friendly Market. That's where it happened. In his spare time, he worked on an invention to fuel cars with water electrolytes. says.
Bro.
This man's a scientist, straight up.
He's
I
got to
don't know
have
if
a,
Musk has ever been approached with that. Like, why don't you go straight to like
True.
electric?
of course.
Water,
Where's the
power?
money?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
He took a dead man's name and made $1 billion off of someone who tried to give the world free energy.
the
Literally.
fuel cells are so they're so expensive.
That is kind of crazy,
It's wild.
but it's true.
Did he? So did Elon Musk invent
No,
Tesla?
he bought it out.
Yeah, I
Bought it
think
out
he
from
did,
two
yeah.
people.
Okay.
When it was a small company.
So
Yeah,
so they stole that guy's name, Nikola Tesla. To be fair,
Either way, they all
Okay.
did.
he secondhand stole it.
But I'm saying like fucking Tesla died.
He got
Tesla died because he wouldn't patent or trademark any of his shit and then Edison was all up on that shit doing whatever
He
wanted to
died
do.
because of that.
I mean, he died because he was hella poor and fucking.
Oh, okay, got you.
all that
Starved to
shit.
death.
Basically, that probably killed him. Like they killed his dreams. They're like, man, because
They
JP
killed
Morgan.
his dreams.
Dude, swear to God, JP Morgan.
They killed Nikola Tesla's dreams.
Of course. Listen, JP Morgan had gave him funding and then all of a sudden just wiped all the funding from him, took it all away. It was like, nah, we ain't
Snakes.
doing it no more.
Snakes.
And then he just died poor,
Damn it. He deserved that.
No.
Oh, I have heard some weird stuff about that.
And then he had like fucking like, he had like
we're all
17
weird.
trunks of shit filled up in his apartment and
Can
at
we
the
look up a little bit
museum.
on Nikola Tesla, please?
At the museum in Saudi Arabia, there's only like fucking 14, so there's like 3 missing or something.
Damn it.
Has to do with his notes too. It's kind of
This
crazy.
dude, so Salter got whacked out. For
Hey, every motherboard and
Water car.
every single type of fucking electronic is because of him.
But this is the thing. Like, when was he doing this? How long ago did he
Yeah.
discover all this?
1920s.
And also, how to die?
This is
Because I mean,
crazy.
we just said he died of starvation.
1943 made dozens of breakthroughs in the production and transmission and application of electric power. The first alternating current AC motor and developed AC generation transmission technology. His early years in Croatia, part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father was a priest, which is an important detail. You know that.
Not really.
7-year-old Tesla. It's gonna
come into play.
7-year-old Tesla who reported seeing visions, the first signs of his lifelong mental illness. So there's a conflict there because a lot of times when you think
And his mom used to call him like the light child or some shit.
when you think of visions, you don't necessarily think of mental illness, especially when you think of theology. And I think that someone who's as brilliant as Tesla, a lot of people would probably
Interpret that differently.
I mean, especially with his father being a priest.
Maybe he's more open to that not being, hey, we need to get this guy on some.
So maybe he
medication.
was seeing Jesus.
Bro, people came to Florida and
Or it's a
saw
message.
alligators and called them dragons when they fucking voted back to the other countries.
He was seeing the pearly gates.
idiots.
I'm just saying.
Dragons.
So Edison, Manhattan headquarters.
There was
He worked for a
Tesla
year.
electric bike company.
He
Yeah, of course.
paid $50,000 to improve designs from DC Dynamo.
They just cut all the bullshit out and just kept Tesla and then stole that from him.
Bro, they were about to build
Yeah,
fucking dams, like generators for some dam, and it was Tesla and Edison bidding for it, and then they picked Tesla to do it.
Ooh, got him. Stand digging dishes for $2 a day. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, he
Salute to
seems
him,
like
man.
his life sucked.
Shit, that's probably like $50, an hour, or $50. I don't know, $2 a day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that's $50 an hour. I don't think that's
No.
No, I mean, I was gonna say like $50 an hour.
He was
in today's
making
money, but-
$10 an hour today.
exactly.
Well, I don't even know. Dude. Yeah.
That translates to minimum wage. True, no, for sure.
Yeah, he'd be smart.
No, he'd be the first one to move out there and say, "I'm a transgender." I'm a transgender, and also I have no vehicle, baby.
You're gonna fund all my research.
You're gonna fund all my research.
Pay rent there. That's crazy with that.
Oh, it's true. You're not even scratching rent yet. Oh, you still gotta go join a gang. Fuck. Damn it.
Start cooking in the trap,
Yeah, no, for sure.
mixing his chemicals.
What else were we talking about? I feel like there was some other shit we were looking up. But
I mean,
football. What do you want to talk about with football, man? Oh yeah, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Dude, matter of fact, you just want to kick it off. The Dolphins game, man. We took the Bills down.
Great game.
Well, we don't have to pull up Josh Allen's highlights necessarily. But yeah, no, we took him. It was
Josh Allen's highest versus the Dolphins.
we had lost to them 7 times in a row, I think, was the number. And yeah, we beat them. There was some scrappiness in the game where Josh Allen was on top of Christian Wilkins in a like dog pile and pulled his helmet off
on purpose.
And on purpose.
It was retaliation.
21-19. I like that. Was it retaliation?
He pushes. If you watch the whole thing, he pushes. Wilkins pushes his face mask up like this from the bottom, and then Allen comes down and rips it off.
Hey, Allen's like 6'4", and he's fucking huge.
Yeah, I think he's taller than that.
No, he's a big boy. He's 6'5", like 240. I think.
And he runs like a 4'5".
You know, last time we played them,
I heard that shit.
Last time we played them before the end of last season, they went for 2 after the game was already solidified. They were already winning. It was at the end of the game. They go for 2, and then at the end of the game, they have another skirmish, same players, and Josh Allen's hit him with the goodbye.
Tyreek Hill,
go home.
Tyreek Hill does that to so many players now.
Well, it's not after a fist fight. That's the difference. That's when he's scoring a touchdown.
Tyreek Hill's an unbelievable athlete.
They said that Stephon Diggs had 2 IVs in his arm during this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he's like, this is the first time I've had 2 IVs in my arm and felt like that.
I just can't get over the fact that
IVs.
Everything that we've found out lately with concussions and everything else in the NFL, the fact that we've had NFL players committing suicide, they've shot at other people, they're beating their wives to death, blaming all this. And we got this fucking phony ass motherfucker, Josh Allen, going to rip a man's helmet off in the middle of the dog pile where he could have took a cleat to the head or anything. And what happened? He didn't get ejected from the fucking game? Get the fuck out of here, Josh Allen. You're a dirtbag piece of shit, sir.
I think you're being a little hard.
There's no honor in that. There's no sportsmanship there.
Okay.
And if we want to talk about the last bullshit, what about when he did the little fin over his fucking helmet like he was a badass? But yet Tua was there to consult his little punk bitch ass, wasn't he? Fuck Josh Allen, man. Fuck the NFL. Fuck Roger Goodell and all his bullshit. Why don't you jump into your golden fucking boys and do something about the fucking white boy club you got going on?
Okay.
Try that one on the fucking side, you piece of shit.
I'm confused.
This is stupid.
I'm confused about what you're upset about here. You're mad because he ripped the helmet off, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just saying.
You don't understand why he's mad?
No.
That man's career could have been over. What are you talking about? What
Whose career?
What if he got a kick to the head?
Who?
Christian Wilkins.
Yes, Christian Wilkins. Nobody gives a fuck about him.
Come on. Kick to the head.
What do you mean?
The unnamed victim that you don't want to acknowledge?
Can we pull up the play?
What, we got the victim list here?
Up the play? Here we go. Because you're stretching it now. I mean,
how are we fucking stretching it?
It was harmless. These are grown men. These are not kids.
Fucking break, man.
What the hell? We're not talking about kids.
Break.
We're talking about grown men.
I can't say that it was a harmless.
They're out there fist fighting. They're out there fist fighting.
Ejected for
it's like
less.
MMA with no weight rules.
Men have been ejected for less.
No, come on. Less?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
For when?
Why are you sitting there asking for dates, dude?
I'm not asking for dates. You don't even have to give me a date.
You're like, give me when and all. What the fucking difference does it make? The man could have been killed. The man could have been hurt. It doesn't fucking matter. Anything could happen. Look at the bitch.
Killed?
I mean, he could have died.
We're playing football. Hey, exit out of that shit real good.
I mean, he literally jumps up like, you ain't gonna penalize me for this, right? I can do that, right?
Let's see the play.
All right. Can you just watch the play? Can we watch the play before, we need just the play. We need just the play.
Oh, it says he accused him of crotch grab.
Yeah.
So you guys down there grabbing cocks, man. Oh.
Josh Allen would have loved that.
No, yeah. Look at you switch the tone up now.
Look what? No, I'm not switching nothing up. I didn't see anybody grab a crotch, but I saw that helmet get ripped the fuck off.
Right. Look, he's like, I didn't mean to grab his dick.
Now bullshit.
Why is that ref as tall as Josh
I didn't mean to grab his dick. I'm sorry.
Why are you saying that when it's Josh Allen walking off? And Josh, do you even know the point you're arguing, sir?
It wasn't a harmless play. It wasn't.
The dick grab wasn't harmless.
Whenever the helmets come off, it is dangerous. But I do have to admit that the Dolphins have been playing very well. And Josh Allen had a great game, but he did fall short on a couple different.
Yeah, he fell short on that too. I mean, we don't condone, just acting like hooligans on the field unless it's within the play.
We call him a third-party bitch bunny. Somebody else had him on the ground, so Josh Allen ran over and knocked his fucking helmet off, tried to be a big ass.
Ooh.
Josh Allen's a fucking punk, dude.
Oh, God.
Okay. And what he done was wrong.
Okay.
How are you going to sit here and say, okay, have they not been working on their fucking helmets for years now with this concussion protocol? Has this not been the foremost front of the fucking NFL?
No one was going to touch Christian.
You don't fucking know that?
He was surrounded by his own players.
God, get
Come
the
on,
fuck
man.
out of here. You're making excuse after excuse. The man's head was exposed.
Way to stretch
What if somebody would have stepped on him, man?
Go ahead and milk it.
Like Albert Hayes.
Go ahead, milk it.
300-pound men standing there.
That's
What
right.
anything
Milk the hell out of it. You got a 15-yard penalty. That's all you're going to get. Milk it.
We're not looking for nothing. No, there should be nothing.
Like a $500 fine.
Ejected from the fucking game.
Oh yeah, so you guys could just win the game outright, huh? That's what
happened. We were the better team anyways. That's what happened with them. No, it clearly didn't help to have them in there.
Face masks worse than that.
It clearly didn't help to have them in there because they still lost the game.
Guys get their heads ripped around.
What the fuck ever, dude? You're literally trying to deflect right now. This is ridiculous. You're not in with your therapist, sir. You're on with smooth recoil. I will cut you down.
I'm your therapist.
You and
I'm letting you
get the fuck out of here with this.
I'm your therapist.
There are no thumb sucking in my room on my couch.
You're the one doing the thumb sucking.
Here's your microphone back, Bills.
You're sucking on the microphone right now because Josh Allen sat there and almost won a game with 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and like 47 rush yards.
And the fact they did it, that's wild. I mean, they ran 90 plays.
It's called karma, motherfucker.
And threw to 12 different receivers.
Ran 90 plays and got 19 points, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so
drop touchdowns, man. That does it.
Javon Holland played every
This was
every down.
uploaded by the Miami Dolphins. Like, seriously? It says Christian Wilkins was mic'd up during our win against the Giants. This was uploaded by them.
Oh, well, this might not be that crazy though.
Yeah, no, he's pretty boring.
All gas, no brakes. Yeah, they made sure that they don't grab any crotches in this one.
Or just don't talk about it. You can grab them all you want, just don't talk about it.
Matter of fact, still grab them and talk about it.
Well, I'm saying if he said something like, they probably wouldn't.
No, they're not gonna let that go.
Nah, he's a goofball. He's a funny guy. Look at that.
Exactly. Remember when this dude did the splits on the national championship stage?
That was him.
Pop loved it.
That was him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have said something funny to him.
Yeah.
The way that he's okay, yeah.
He might have said, yeah.
He didn't say something. He grabbed a little something. You know what I'm saying? Josh was supposed to do a little something strange for a piece of change. Just didn't work out that way.
You done with this?
I just think it's fucking hilarious. You just keep deflecting. You just keep bringing up.
What am I deflecting?
I mean, this is ridiculous.
That's what he said. I got to go with what he said, right?
This is silly, dude.
I got to go with what he said.
You literally are skirting the fucking issue. And
so you saying he's a liar?
I don't give a fuck about what happened with his nutsack. I don't think anybody grabbed his nutsack. Okay. I don't think that man grabbed his nutsack.
Just grab his nutsack.
I don't think he was grabbing for anything.
Would you like a man to follow you?
Josh Allen did do, and what we all saw, he grabbed that man's helmet, yanked it off his head. He should have been ejected from the game.
I don't think
he should have been ejected from the game.
No, I've seen
should have been ejected from the game.
No, I don't think so. I've seen people, do that. And stuff
seen
like
worse.
That.
Well, either way, guys, y'all ready to get up out of here and get to your
we should probably get
bunker down? It's getting a little late, so thank y'all for joining us during the hurricane. Y'all stay safe out there. We wanted to bring y'all this and just chop it up before things hit too bad, and just bring some content. Yeah, everybody stuck inside.
Content your way, man. You know what I'm saying? Check us out, man.
Definitely like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe this thing and share it to somebody that you love and you want.
I learned
bring some happiness into
if you literally just click, go right. We should have all did this shit before we got on. I'm high as fuck. But if we all just click fucking copy link or share, share then copy link. Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do. It runs that shit.
You gotta explain what you're talking about.
Under the video. Mm-hmm. Like no, you didn't even have to. All you gotta do is click share and then copy link under the video.
Oh, then the video is like, you shared it.
And then it's like, you shared it.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, I don't know what good that does if you don't send it to nobody.
Yeah, but please send it to someone.
I'm saying
send it, please.
Send it to people, but if you're literally that lazy,
we love you.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, but what good does that do?
We're not as
Because
we're
it
nothing without you.
self-recommends
We
it.
love
Oh,
you.
for the algorithm. Okay.
Well, we ain't worried about the people watching. We need new people.
Yeah, no, well, I
Why
feel
do we
you.
don't worry
No,
about
we
it?
appreciate you guys.
I feel you.
We still, like I said, I love you.
No,
We love you.
No, if you're watching, not sharing.
I hope you're
trying to
safe.
steal some game.
Yeah, he tried to steal some game and not share.
Share that
But
shit.
either way, man,
Share.
appreciate y'all for dropping in with us. Hope y'all are safe. Smooth Recoil, check him out on YouTube if you like to see gaming. You're going to be chilling in the house anyways. Hopefully you got power. Go out in your cars, plug that thing up, and watch Smooth Recoil. And Sid Politic, Deuce, check him on Twitter. He's going wild over there. I've been seeing you post some crazy stuff, cuz.
Yeah. Been posting crazy.
You've been
shit.
seeing me go in on Bills fans, though, right?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Oh, I've been tearing them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need that.
Yeah. You've been at the throats.
Pedialyte Mafia.
Necks.
Pedialyte Mafia
Oh, God.
is their name. But either way, appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody. Be safe. Love. That's it.
I'm wet.
Okay.
And fucking.